What else is new? There's a new Lightwave. It'll launch your video.
This is actually a pretty cool version of this song. Scars of Time. Kind of like the title track, the one that plays during the intro video. So I spent the last 15, 20 minutes trying to get a high-res texture pack working. Oh yeah, the background. Don't worry about that. I spent the last 20 minutes or so trying to get a high-res texture pack working on RetroArch. And it just doesn't want to grab it for whatever reason. Just doesn't want to do it. Which is fine. Given that Square actually gave me a code to play this. And it would be, I always wonder about that. I always wonder if it would be in bad taste. Instead of playing the version of the game they actually gave me, and instead playing a pirated one with a patch on it. Because this is, I love Chrono Cross. So I'm not in any way upset that they decided to re-release it, give it another shot, maybe expose it to some new people. This is an interesting port. Interesting is the word I'll use. I don't say anything bad about a free game, but it's interesting. It doesn't run well. It looks pretty good. It looks pretty good. The brush up looks good, I'll admit. The textures look pretty good. There's some bizarre changes to the soundtrack. It largely sounds the same. I only listened to the first track, which I think was called Gale or Hurricane. It gets translated in a couple different ways, but there's a sample that's just not in it. It's mostly there, but there's like a vocal sample that's just gone. Wow. Dimmy, thank you for the cheer. What a glorious day today it is. 4-day weekend here in Australia. Today being a public holiday, it's also my birthday. Now to top it all off, streaming Chrono Cross. What more could you want? Well, unfortunately, I can't stream for too long. I've got about 3 hours, then we got to record Inside Games. I might be cheeky and just stream again after that, or just go on break. I've recently discovered that if I click the right buttons in the right order, I can run a separate instance of OBS and record my camera while it's streaming or running otherwise, so I might end up doing that, but... I have been to Japan, Adam Holloway. Fantastic trip. I had a lovely time. Tokyo especially is pretty, sorry, there's lag here when I'm trying to pick the game. Tokyo especially is very tourist friendly. So, I had a great time. I would recommend it, especially if you're able to get there on any kind of budget. You can find a cheap flight. Hotels there aren't that bad. They're all pretty nice, the ones that I went to. Anyway, this track rocks, so I'm gonna let this play. I'm playing Ghostwire Tokyo and watching Tokyo Vice. I feel like I've been there. I really want to play Ghostwire Tokyo. I just need to get over myself and play it at 1080p. Right. So the reason I'm kind of cool with playing this is I found this mod on Nexus Mods, which is it's mostly just a patch that changes the executable to be a 64-bit executable, and apparently that helps performance fantastically. So I'm gonna play it a little bit, do like the intro dungeon, save the game, apply the patch, and then play it more, and see just how drastic it changes. Man, this track though. This track had permanent residence on my MP3 player. Oh yeah, this is a furry game for furries. Takes a while to get there, but holy moly is it ever. Oh, hey, Pops Heart. There's something very sexual about that. Grossly organic and weirdly sexual. I always, in retrospect, this game is definitely a post-evangelion game. And it's like existentialism and melancholy. Despite the The weird clit gun. I don't think there's a whole lot of actual sexuality in it, though. Instead, one of the things that really shocked me, or one of the things that really stuck with me about this game, of course, man, Joe, I begged you to come up with a different gimmick, and you just can't do it. If you come back with that shit in 10 minutes, you have 10 minutes to chill out, and if you come back with it, I'll just ban you, man. It's that easy. All I have to do is just click one button. Sometimes people act like you can't just ban them and get rid of them forever. Well, I guess you could make another account, but whatever. J6, yeah, this is a classic. Oh man. Time of the Dream Watch. This track is awesome. Hey, what's up, Hydrolite? I'm doing great. It's been a busy day, though. A lot of stuff going on, a lot of ins and outs, but... Also, I noticed the border changed back to not really filling the screen, but whatever. But I'm pretty happy with, like, the character art looks really good on the portraits when they're talking and stuff. The backgrounds look like, you know, they've had a AI filter run over them, which is what most upscales are. Does this have any relation to Chrono Trigger? Yes, it is an in-canon sequel to Chrono Trigger. It is. It doesn't seem like it, and even like gameplay-wise, thematically, it's a sequel in maybe the most tenuous threads. Which, I don't know. From my perspective, there's not a whole lot to work with in Chrono Trigger, really. Chrono Trigger's kind of a weirdly disconnected, fractured game. Doesn't really have that good of a story, I don't think. That's me, though. I played Chrono Trigger a bit later, and I didn't quite have the reaction to it that a lot of people did. It's fine. It's fine. Like Blair Witch 2? This is a plot canon sequel, sort of. It's in the same universe. Lavos does come up, sort of. But the way it's connected, it's sort of a pretty trivial connection. I'm not slamming Chrono Trigger, right? I'm not slamming it. I didn't see the, like, best game of all time that a lot of other people did. That's all. It's basically two different games. Like, once you get to Zeal, it just becomes a different game. Thematically and character-wise and plot-wise. Let's see. Can we maybe listen to the song I posted? Think it'd be good thematically? I want to play a video game. I don't know why there's a... I guess they give you fast forward from the drop. That's why there's a little arrow there. Let's see here. Chrono Cross, alright, fine. An official re-rendition of Time Scar. Verbose, thank you for the tip. Listen to your podcast with Bruce. I really enjoyed it. Some of what you said about restraint. Oh wow. Feeling disconnected and etc. really resonated with me. I enjoy that kind of long-form, unscripted content, and your perspective was relatable. I'm glad to hear it. Yeah, I feel like if anything I do makes people feel less alone, that's a pretty powerful and wonderful thing. It's like cashmere strings. We've got like Celtic influence, Japanese vocals, and then like these Middle Eastern stabs on the strings. Yeah, legally distinct cashmere. That's a girl. It is a girl. Her name is Kid. She's kind of important. But we have no idea why. What's up, David? Is her name really Kid? No, it's not. Kind of hard to answer any day or any questions about Kid. Kid's presence is more of a idea than a real character, I guess. Why does she have 3 boobs? No. Why was your day busy? Wrote a script for Inside Games. That was kind of the big task. Cooking. Yeah, hard day. That was a pretty good day. Can't complain. Just trying to like... Since becoming self-employed, I basically have no predictable day, which means every day is kind of an exercise in moving tasks around, which has its own kind of dealing with that volatility on a reoccurring basis. It does tax your energy in ways that I wasn't quite ready to appreciate. You're going to take a Udemy course on journalism. Fuck yeah. Let me know how it goes. Maybe you can be the next Lawrence. I feel like you've been working more or less since going self-employed. That's tough. That was awesome. Okay. All right. I don't regret clicking on that. If you consider streaming to be a work task, then I probably work, air quotes, work more. But at Rooster Teeth, I had 9-10 hour days that were work, like not doing this, not playing a video game, chatting with people, having fun. Yeah, I know these. I didn't even say it was a problem, Adam. These aren't first world problems. It's just first world work day. I went over my taxes. Does that help? I had to learn about electing into being an S corp. That's part of the busyness of it. Anyway, as soon as I left my previous job, for my basically for my mentality, it felt like I started working half as much and got paid like 50% more, right from the drop. And it has morphed since then. Oh, I got the chef. Oh man, there's way cooler. I guess he's got those 2 big knives. That's pretty good. Orcha. See, like the character art's not bad, really. To being a what? An S corp. My LLC now has an S corp election. At least it will as soon as I figure out I fill out the documents and pay the government like $800. What console has come out on? PlayStation 1. Ah, yeah. If you want to look up the rest of the songs, it's from a 2015 album called Chrono Trigger and Chrono Cross Arrangement Album, Too Far Away Times. I think I remember hearing about that when it came out, but I should look up the rest of it. Chrono Cross's soundtrack is one of my favorites of all time. I have the like piano arrangement book. I've had that for 15 years. I still have my PlayStation 1 copy of Chrono Cross. Last time I streamed it, it was by sticking a Chrono Cross disc into a PlayStation 3 and just playing it. Why is it running in slow motion? Did I hit? I think. Oh, I turned on. What is that? Fuck. There's this. Oh, there we go. Okay, but yeah, you can see here that the frame rate's not the best. You know, it's not smooth or buttery like you might expect for a game that's 20 years old. So I'm curious to see if that performance patch helps that. The description said that it really helped in the cutscenes. This is PC. How tough. It's doing its best. Is it? I don't know that it is. I think its best could actually be quite a bit better. But that's okay. Chrono Cross is a beautiful game. And again, I am grateful. Yeah, my music book had chinchilla bite marks. Indeed it does. Have you seen the Digital Foundry video about the release? No, I read the article about it. Or skimmed it, I should say. Oh, you have a Super Famicom Chrono Trigger? It's probably worth something. So yeah, there's supposed to be like a vocal chant right now. That's just not here. I don't know. It's a pretty cool chant. It sounds cool. This is a pretty common track in the game, too. It's kind of a shame that sound isn't there. But I have to admit, like, the fonts look pretty good. The dash and slash, that's a pretty good looking font. And Square's re-releases typically don't care about fonts. Weirdly. They're usually pretty slacking on the font front. It's infinitely worse without the chant. I kind of agree. The chant adds a lot to that track. Square don't care about a lot of things. Yeah. I guess to some degree it's just a little bit baffling. Some of the changes and omissions? Oh, that's a heal. Okay. Damn it. It's not there. It's just gone. Out of all the samples, why that one? Maybe it actually was a developer that made that sound and I don't have the rights to it anymore. I don't know. That's so weird. I'm confident I can get over it, given enough time. Maybe. It is interesting though, like the AI up-resed backgrounds. It feels like they threw another filter on it to make it look a little more like brushstrokey. So that it wouldn't look as like kind of, I don't know how to describe it, but I've definitely seen enough like AI up-resed images to know what the effect looks like. It's like kind of bubbly and watery, kind of squiggly, you know? It's got that squiggle. Give you the world-ending spells right from the drop. Yeah, no, gotta turn on ray tracing. Digital Foundry described it as looking for detail when there wasn't any because the AI wasn't trained what to look for. Or looking for detail in the wrong spots. Yeah, I could see that. So like, just like, there's like clearly supposed to be these like lines here, but then there's just like weird texture here. Or like here, there's just like a lot of warbles of color. Yeah, I got a 3080, Adam. I was lucky enough to get in the EVGA queue and have my spot come up, believe it or not. So, just the AI making stuff up. Yeah, the AI having that crunchy 4K vision. It doesn't look as bad as the trailers made it seem, or made it look to begin with. It doesn't look great, but it doesn't look bad. So far. It's also possible that since this is one of the earlier parts in the game, that they artists were able to do a manual pass on some of these textures and make them a little better. These are all just theories. What's up, Hogwilden? This is the remake. It is Radical Dreamers Edition. I'm kind of curious to get into this this collection because they do have a translated version of Radical Dreamers, the Super Nintendo visual novel that never came out in the United States, that I guess is supposed to provide a lot of crucial plot gap coverage between Chrono Trigger and Chrono Cross. How is this connected to Chrono Trigger? If I told you, it would be a spoiler. But I'm not convinced I'm going to get to that part of the game anyway, because it's pretty far in. Like, very far in. I want to say the connection to Chrono Trigger, it only really tells you about in the last, like, 20% of the game. There are, like, hints and references. Mostly just, like, thematic references. And then, like, at the end, when they start full bore telling you the story, that's when it, like, leans in. Also, vibration is on, but I ain't getting no shakes. I ain't getting no vibies. Alright, oops. Wasn't there, like, a... I swear there was... I remember getting to, like, visual options by hitting some kind of button. Hey, Gunrun, thanks for the sub. That is so disorienting when the music just cuts out like that. Oh, okay, that's why. Okay, that's slow-mo. All right. You're not running Linux, are you? No. No. I pay Bill Gates $20 every day so that I can boot up Windows. Need the Rumble expansion pack? Yeah, Rumble DLC. There is a fast forward button. Normally, you only get fast forward your second playthrough of the game. Because this game does have multiple endings. And it has, like, branching paths where if, like, if you get, like, one NPC in your party, you can't get other ones. There's like... Yeah, there's parts where the game branch out, and then it reconverges in terms of story. So if you take branch A the first time through, you get one character and play one portion of the game. Yeah, fast forward was in the original game, but you only got it after you beat it. Once you load a New Game Plus, you could fast forward. I think this version of the game also has the ability to just turn off combat. So the original didn't have that, which I think would really help New Game Plus and trying to like go the different paths and figure out exactly what the story is about. Because this is a pretty metaphysical story. It gets pretty out there. How many endings are there compared to Trigger? I don't know. I know that there's a bad one, and that there's a good one, and that there's a few others. I only got the bad one. I never actually... There is an actual Chrono Cross, and you gotta jump through some hoops to get it. I never did that. Because I was confused by the time I finished the game. And also, like, that's also when my life started getting a little complicated. I had some family shit going down. I had to work, I had a part-time job. I was going to school. So, I didn't really have the wherewithal to, like, run through this game 18 times or follow a guide. I just realized, too, how utterly visual novel this game is. Including these, like, flashes to something terrible happening, starting en media res, with a bunch of bullshit you don't understand, and then clapping back to a picturesque image of, you know, anime pastoral calm. Also, I get Steam Chivos this way, so that's good. People on Steam are going to know I bring the business when they see my Chrono Cross Chives. This track is so good. Guitar and flute are such a good pairing. Oh, man. regards to re-releases, I don't know. I just don't trust Square Enix to put what I consider the bare basics into those games. I have zero expectations of Square Enix. I can be pleasantly surprised. Yeah, I mean, you're not a bad call, really. And this like synth in the background, it's just it's so perfect. But it opens like Chrono Trigger. At least now it does. Your mom's waking you up. Granted, that's a JRPG trope, sort of, but you know, it's intentional in this game. Large Marge. Oh yeah, you can walk around during conversations. These light shafts. Yeah, this game was not only it was pretty late in the PlayStation life cycle. They had made a few Final Fantasies. They had kind of settled into their pre-rendered background with 3D character running over it engine. And this game has a lot of like tech. It's pretty cool. A lot of merging of animated elements on top of static elements to make the scene look more alive. And then of course just the colors in this game. This is a tropical game, which is weird because everyone in this game is depressed. Sort of. Everyone in this game kind of understands that they're part of a dream, or that their reality isn't really real or something. There's this pervading sense in this game that the reality everyone's living in is going to fade away at any moment. It's not quite as intense as you might get in a Soulsborne, where every character is kind of on their last tether. Yeah, tough. It's interesting how everything goes back to Soulsborne, isn't it? But this game, is this a dream taking place in Chrono Trigger? No, but calling it a dream is pretty accurate to what's going on. But it's like people have every NPC kind of has this creeping suspicion that they're not living in reality and maybe they were never alive in the first place. And the way they talk about their life and what they're doing kind of shows that through, which gives the entire game a very strange sensibility. Also, the music is very dreamlike. Fried Coffee, thanks for the resub. Did Twin Peaks come out during the last Chrono Cross stream? Yeah, I think so. I think mostly just because Twin Peaks was such a weird cultural phenomenon in Japan that it sort of seeped its way into a lot of video games. A scattered dream that's like a far-off memory. A far-off memory that's like a scattered dream. Is that a quote from the game, Void? Yeah, it's kind of interesting because the game takes a while before it starts hinting to you that something's kind of broken. Hey. Also, last time chat walked me through recruiting some characters that I didn't know about, so hopefully I either remember how to do that or chat does it again. Been rewatching Evangelion. That show is dark. Sure is. It's dark and it hits on a lot of philosophical ideas of the self and the self's relation to the world outside that are pretty interesting and pretty impactful when you're like a teenager trying to figure out who you are and what being a person even means. Evangelion is basically the Matrix. Basically. I really love the rhythm of the guitar in the background when the flute takes lead. Rhythmic syncopation. Crazy. Oh yeah, I gotta go talk to the chief. But yeah, once it happens pretty early on in the game, so I don't feel too bad talking about it, but This is a game kind of like, I guess, Ocarina of Time. It takes place in 2 states. There's 2 worlds you click back and forth between. And it's like the characters have this weird association with their alternate self. And the existence of 2 timelines somehow has fractured people's... I'll stop talking about it. It's interesting, though, the way that they do it. Oh, we talking about titties? Hey, I'm all right. Easily one of the best OSTs ever. You know what? I agree. I wholeheartedly agree. I think Chrono Cross is a top 10er. I gotta think about that. There's been so many more video games, though. I feel like Final Fantasy XIV has to be in there, but it's almost not fair to think about that game because it's been running for 10 years and just has so much top tier artistic creation poured into it. Never played Star Ocean until the end of time on PS2. It was going so well, but they pissed off fans because the characters found out they aren't real and live in a simulation. Yeah, I remember that. I feel like that was still part of the string of like post Evangelion mindfucks, except they were trying a little too hard, and also it came out of nowhere. There's a real truth about the world. Insanity leads to chaos, then to solitude. The fruitless effort of adding meaning to what is meaningless. A lone crimson tear falls into the sea. The echo of the remaining star cries out in the infinite vacuum. Least I can do is send my distant prayers over the wind of time, setting sail on dreams. Just a random NPC reading poetry to you. See your feet, poet feet. Cha ha ha. So deep. I guess in the long run, I had my experience with this game. I admit, for me, I guess it never really quite all synced up in a way that made tons of sense. So I'm curious if I play it with an adult brain and like read through Radical Dreamers. I'm curious if somehow in there I can find a cohesive meaning. It almost reminds me of like I get similar sensations with Kingdom Hearts, but I've since embraced that not knowing is the point of Kingdom Hearts. Like, it's intentionally obtuse and hyper-complicated, and that's the point, is that you have no idea. I have to admit, I had a great time looking over some of the Reddit threads about the Kingdom Hearts 4 trailer, because people were dunking on Kingdom Hearts, like, and loving it at the same time. It's the perfect combo of, like, we love and hate this stupid thing. They were taking the piss out of it pretty effectively, which is the best. I think you also have to have played Chrono Trigger very recently and with a very open mind for this to make much sense. Really? I remember Chrono Trigger being pretty straightforward, but I could be wrong. I wouldn't mind playing Chrono Trigger again. Maybe I'll think it's awesome this time. Chrono Trigger had a great soundtrack. Has Chrono Trigger been re-released? Yeah, a couple times. They even added full anime sequences animated by Akira Toriyama to one of them. I think the PlayStation one had that, and then the DS one had it as well. My super duper secret number 1, rock and roll to trap the sucker. Oh, okay, yeah. This will become important later. So this is a pleasing font, though, I have to admit. Got a nice high-res drop shadow. Perhaps my passive-aggressive tweets about Final Fantasy's remake fonts got the right ear at Square. Truly the only way to consume Kingdom Hearts is to loathe it. You can't bring yourself to leave. I think I like it now. I mean, Kingdom Hearts 3 was pretty flat, but I'm kind of excited for 4. Also, I swear the music in the 4 trailer, like the horns in it, sounded very Avengers to me, very superhero-y. Surely people have brought, like, everyone seems to think that Kingdom Hearts is gonna have Star Wars in it now, which makes sense, but it could also have Avengers in it, right? No one seems to be talking about, like, Sora and Captain America palling up or something. Thanks for retweeting my meme. I'm flexing the like count to my Twitter friends. Was that the, Joe, did you make the, Stone Toad? Was that yours? Or is it another one? Oh shit, this guy was saying some deep shit. Oh yeah, this guy. This guy's got some thoughts. Been about 10 years since I became a fisherman. Back then I still had other aspirations, but I ended up succeeding my dad. I guess you can say everything here represents 10 years of my life. Lions, sharks, sawfish, six-horned narwhals, you name it. They represent all my hard work and dedication. I love my job, and I'm happy with my current lifestyle and all, but lately, I get to thinking when I see Kiki about how I could have had a different future. What if I'd chosen a different path 10 years ago? And I'd be living a completely different life than I am now. I'm not saying which one would have been better. I just wonder where the other path may have led me. I guess the longer you live, the more you wonder about the other you that might have been. Boy, life sure is complex. NPC in the first village. Just thinking thoughts. Oh yeah, you do need this. Oh, also, this game has an like a key item system, so you can show items to NPCs and they react to them, which is also really interesting. Because it's open. Like you don't really get strong indicators of what items you need to show to who. You have to pay attention. Like you have to understand the meaning and significance of items and their relations to the characters based on what they say. Just thinking thoughts and foreshadowing the entire philosophical dilemma of the game. Yeah, just leaving it out there. When I got my collector's edition of Death Stranding from Best Buy, I got it on sale for $90. On top of that, they threw in a free sealed copy of Kingdom Hearts 3 because they had so many copies and nobody was buying anything physical, so they were making random as hell bundles like that. Okay, cool. Can you just like flip it on eBay? It's gotta be worth like at least $10, right? Dappy Delirium, thanks for the sub. Also Pineapple Kittens. Sorry, I think I was in the middle of some long ramble when you resubbed. Thank you very much. Don't be messing with those boats. Oh, lady's gonna whack me off. Look at this. Look at these colors. Although, yeah, this is kind of evidence of like not the best AI upresing, because these are supposed to be leaves and like foliage, and you can kind of tell that based on the color, but it just kind of looks like blobs. It looks like colors that have been blurred together. It doesn't really know what the pattern is supposed to be. I don't know, this art is really good though. They must have I wonder if they had original art that they were able to scan back in, or if they had to redraw everything. Yeah, it gets a painterly vibe, mecha. Yeah, I agree. It doesn't work against the game as much as I thought it would, because I don't know, the world looking like it's brushstroke kind of makes sense. You're in a dream, right? Sort of. So yeah, I have to admit, I'm kind of surprised at how little I'm offended by this, which sounds really pretentious, but I really like this game, and I was pretty protective of it. How each day lasted an eternity filled with newness, fun, and excitement. Talking about childhood. But the important thing now is not childhood, but my Komodo scale necklace. That sentiment, though, each day an eternity filled with newness. I think a lot about that. About how, like, everything was new when you were younger. And it was such a shocking window of life. As you get older, things become more predictable, more normal, which taxes your brain less when things are routine, but it also just makes things less exciting. It's a little, what's the word? It's a little hackneyed, I guess. Like a kid jumping in a puddle. But the first time you did it, it was the first time, you know? You got to splash around in running water. What an incredible sensation to experience the first time. I feel like that's one of the things that games taps into, video games, is we get to, even though it's through a pretty narrow straw, like it's through a controller, buttons and sticks, we still get to go to new places and see new things. Play games like Death Stranding that have entirely separate rules that you have to learn. I think it kind of flexes that part of your brain that has to adapt to a new kind of reality, a new set of rules. I think the FromSoft games are really good at that. My local retro video game store has Chrono Cross for PS1 in a special case on its own. I have no idea why. A lot of PlayStation 1 RPGs are kind of held up like that. Speaking of PlayStation 1 RPGs that are really overvalued, the Suikoden team is putting out. They just announced what is it? Eiyuden Chronicles. It's got a subtitle, Beginnings or something like that. Anyway, the team that worked on Suikoden back in the day is making a new sprite-based JRPG called Eiyuden Chronicles. It starts with an E, I think. Anyway, it's releasing in May. It's great. It got crowdfunded. Apparently, they've been crunching away on it. It doesn't look good to you. Some of the early trailers didn't look so hot, but I'm gonna play it anyway because I have a life debt to the Suikoden series. And I intend to fulfill it. Background style reminds me of the original Final Fantasy VII. Yeah, this was very solidly in their PlayStation 1 run of like polygonal characters over pre-rendered backgrounds. Let's say no. Listen to me now and believe me later, Sergei. Life on this planet was born of the sea and will eventually return to it. Even our blood is mostly seawater. That has been the contract between the sea and all living creatures since ancient times. No one can defy this rule. Everyone will one day return to the sea. Just keep that in the back of your mind. Alright. Would love to play Suikoden. Love the trailer that's on MediaTek. Yeah, for a while. They have to be on PlayStation Now. Or PlayStation Store, I think. You're falling asleep against your will right now? Don't worry. I'll have to talk to the... Wait. I have to talk to the chief. Did I already do that? I don't think I did that yet. This is my house, I think. Never seen a more depressed group of people in such a pretty place. It's a vibe, right? They live in paradise, or at least like the video game version of paradise, and yet all they can do is stare out at the horizon and be like, I'm gonna die someday. Ith my health. Enter at own risk. Oh, Poshel. There's a way to recruit Poshel pretty early on, but I don't remember exactly how. I think you have to, like, do something within a certain time period? Suikoden had some pretty whack requirements to recruit certain characters, too. You could get, like, special endings if you got them all, but that pretty much required a guide. This is my house, yeah. Was that lady the village chief? Chief Keef? What's over here? Is this the remaster? It is, yep. Oh, okay. Oh, there's Poshel. I don't think I need a battle tutorial. Record of Fate tells me not to go out to sea today. Oh, that's right. The Record of Fate. Yeah, this game like incorporates save files into its lore and how that relates to like fate and predestination and stuff. You know what? I will hear about key items. Press X. God, that's weird to see. Yeah, I think when I go to another Arnie... Wah, 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 wah. That's a good laugh. I think when I go to another Arnie, I have to show Poshel an item. And then I can recruit them. Poshel is such a pig. What's her favorite dish? Is that a dog or a seal? It's Poshel. Record of Fate. If you listen closely, the Record of Fate will tell you lots of things, like what you should be doing next. When you can't hear anything anymore, well, I guess it means you don't have a future. When that happens, you should just go home and go to sleep. There isn't anything you can do to change fate. Says the 4-year-old waiting to save her game. Alright. No cutting in line. We all must talk to the gem. The ecstasy and anxiety of the chosen one. What? Mega Babe is in love with me. I'm on cloud 9, but I don't want to get dumped. What? It tells of how naive the hearts of men are. Only Chief Radius can come up with a saying like that. Okay, sure. Wacky old guy. There was a brief window, I guess, where an elderly man being horny was just the pinnacle of comedy. Old men being horny, women who can't cook. Nothing funnier than that in anime. If we all start and return to the sea, is that why it's called Seamen? Seamen. Yes. I think they'll let me leave now. Oh, a little load chunk there. Tropical bright colors reminds me of Final Fantasy X. Makes sense. Oh, there was an autosave? Boy, we are living in the future. Alright, now it's time to apply all the liberties of... How do you quit the game? To apply all the liberties of the PC, personal computer, and apply a sweet patch. What the heck? What is that? Yeah, this track is great. How do you recruit the Voodoo Doll Man again? I'm sure we'll find out. I'm sure I'll remember. Mojo. Man, that sounded like a different song. What did I... Can't fucking believe it. Windows tricked me. There was a share with Skype. Fucking... I'm insulted. All right. Okay. All right. I don't understand the executables that load like the Windows 3.1 Explorer file dialog. So strange. How do they do that? There has to be like some ancient Windows call that it loads this thing instead of... Is it under quick access? It is. Okay. Patch. All right. Thank you. Chief Net did me a solid there. Look at that. God, can't wait. Oh, it like plays a different song. Hey, what's up, White Rabbit? Vocals. Weird. Alright, I can't wait for the blazing hot frame rate. That's actually, yeah, that's quite a bit better already in this intro. Wow. I think Kid is at Cape Howell already. But there's a time when you have to like deny her 3 times or something. I'm supposed to be here yet. What do you think the odds of a Xenogears remaster is? Probably pretty low, I want to say. Because I don't think Square has any interest in like resurrecting or like extending the Xenogears franchise, because that kind of is living on a Xenosaga, sort of. That's where those creators went. But who knows? Who knows? Square can plumb their archives pretty deep. Excuse me. Yeah, that's true. They did live alive, whenever the heck that is. Excuse me. Seems anything is fair game. That's a good point. Xenogears was very sprite-based, though. Very sprite-based. I feel like that would be a little bit harder to like renovate. But who knows? Screw Lizard Rock. All right, that's where I need to go. I'm gonna wait for me to Opasa Beach. Lizard Rock. All right. Are you enjoying the cooler weather? I'm enjoying it actually. It was a bit chilly. It's been a bit chilly the past couple of days, but I'm liking it. I'm trying to suck up all of the chill that I can before the summer really crashes in, because it's gonna be, I feel like it's gonna be a sweltery one. Sploosh. Oh, I should buy some elements. I don't think I have any. That's right, I got a photon ray. What has to be one? Alright. Here in the southern hemisphere, January was god-awful, like 35 degrees Celsius temps consistently. Or constantly? Blech. I'm betting the power's going to go out a lot. Yeah, I think you're right, Joe. I mean, I think... It's funny, I got an email from SoCal Edison, which is like the electric provider around here, that we're on a tiered electric rate plan now, which means our electricity is more expensive when there's peak usage. Oh my gosh, look at this frame rate. It's kind of good. Well, that's good. The music is not as whack as I thought it was going to be. So, you know. Man, it's triplets. Ugh. Fuck Edison, they scammed the fuck out of me. Yeah, I'm worried about it. Because I got this email out of nowhere being like, welcome to your new rate plan. And I was like, oh no. So I gotta actually look through all the rate plans to see exactly how deeply I'm gonna get dicked. What did you do to improve the frame rate? I wasn't paying attention. There was an executable patcher on Nexus mods. that I think it just patches the executable to be a 64-bit executable. Like, it expands the memory range of the executable, and that's it. Yeah, more accounting. Yep, exactly. Spirits. Got to do your taxes tomorrow. I was talking about it with I hired a CPA like about a month and a half ago, and I've been chipping away at it ever since. So I've done my due diligence, and trying to not like leave it all to the last minute. The ISA FPS patch. Yes, that's the one. Total. If you guys are curious, I can here. Let me just link it in chat. The power of borderless window. Bang. There you go. Apparently it just came from somebody like messing around with Cheat Engine, and they just found some lucky memory addresses to swap in the launcher, and it helped. That's all it took. Part of me hopes it's not really that simple, like it's not the DS fix level of really all you needed was this one DLL and it's all better, but it might be, who knows. Then again, sometimes I feel like there's this belief, and I get it, that like a company will release a product, and then a week later, somebody in the PC world will just be like, "Oh, I just put in this DLL and it fixed everything." And the temptation from the consumer side is to be like, "Stupid company, stupid dumbass company. Why couldn't they do that if the fix was that simple, right?" But companies are not. They're not as free to do whatever with the software that they license and sell that we are as end users. They have to own, or at least have the open rights to everything that they sell. So if there's like an open source, well, open source is a different story, but if there's a community fix that seems so trivial, there may be annoying but justifiable business reasons why it's not implemented in the retail release. I mean, I guess that doesn't matter from the consumer perspective, but sometimes it's tempting to call people stupid when really they just have to play by different rules than you do. That's all. Like that crisp field effect indicator. I can't get over how good these fonts look. I don't know. My eyes are just used to doo-doo fonts, I guess. Ugh, that sun texture is a little rough. Is it 60 FPS now? No. No, it's not. It is 60 FPS for short bursts, but it's way better than 15, that's for sure. I mean, it's kind of silly that it's not 60 or above. Like, it ought to be a blazing 120 on like a solar calculator. This game is old. Also, yeah, a lot of these patterns, these just like wispy patterns, like, it makes sense for the coral and stuff like that, but dirt shouldn't look like that. Rocks shouldn't look like that unless they're just like covered with lichen or something. I don't know. So yeah, it just seems like an AI upres that wasn't quite trained properly or set properly. It doesn't look bad, though, is I guess my takeaway. It really doesn't bother me as much as I thought it would. I'm kind of okay accepting that it's just how this game looks. Wonder if this is a PlayStation interpreter for the game. Yeah, my understanding is that it is a pretty cut rate emulator running under it. Oh, Velcro Manor. Thanks for the... Or Velcro Mancer, excuse me. Thanks for the Prime. That's a great name. I love thinking about all kinds of less sexy wizards. I think I already have one of those. Ivory helmet? Yeah. Can I put on 2 ivory helmets? No. Game thought ahead of me. It's not as cool as Tales of Arise. I love thinking about the implications of inventing an alcoholic beverage that has none of the downsides of alcohol, and the profits, and the fact it doesn't exist. Yeah. Are you 100% of Tales of Arise? Tough? That's pretty awesome. I would like to do that. Hey, what's up, Aussie Maniac? Nice choice of emote. I would say hopefully all the blood's not rushing to your head, but God knows you're probably used to it by now. Let's see here. What's the trick with this nerd? Or maybe I think you just have to catch him. You just gotta get him. You just gotta get his ass. Yeah, you're just a little bit faster than him. I kept thinking it had to be something where you like had to trick him and then run around the other way. Nope. Just grab him. Just put hands on him. Grab him. But yeah, 0 calories, 0 toxin alcohol. If you can do that, you will solve the human condition. Also, I'd never be sober again. Ever. maybe a little bit. Maybe when I have to like work or write. But yeah, that'd be cool. That'd be cool. I mean, the real answer is to just smoke weed or eat weed. Wait, kava? Wait, there's something called kava? Eh? Honestly, what's surprising is how deceptively deep the plot in Arise is. Their approach is cliche, but they make a decent attempt at discussing slavery, racism, bigotry, and all kinds of dark sides of humanity. That's pretty cool. I've heard that too. I've heard that the story actually goes to some pretty intense places. So, I mean, I've already seen some of that in my playthrough, but it's a Tales game, so I've only seen like 15% of it. I actually am looking forward to playing that again. I put it on the calendar for Saturday's stream. As far as I know, nothing's gonna get in the way of that. But life can come at you fast. Kava fucks your liver over time. I mean, so does alcohol. Like more than alcohol? There we go. Oh, there were deaths from it. Well, again, more than alcohol? Oh, it's your first Tales game since Vesperia in 2008. The ones in between are way too anime for me. They were pretty anime, weren't they? Yeah. I tried to play Tales from Abyss, and I was like, damn, this is anime. And Arise is a little anime too, but it tempers it a bit, I think. Ukuro asking if I ever played Sayonara Wild Hearts. I did. I got it on Switch and like played through it in an evening. It was good. I know I've played other like music rail shooters that are a little more hardcore than that one. And I think I ended up preferring those, but it was good. I liked it. Just smoke a ton of weed, the good life. Yeah. I feel like weed is one of those things. Like, life can be shit, but sometimes there's some good stuff in this world. Like, it's not bad for you or even good for you. It's cheap. It grows right out of the ground. Coffee, weed. Yeah, coffee, exactly, Pop-Tart. Garlic. Bread. I mean, bread's pretty good. Bread's pretty basic. It's not 0 calorie, but... Darn it. I'm playing this right. Bread isn't natural. Yeah, grains are natural, but bread requires like milling and cooking and stuff. Coffee and wheat are. Well, coffee is... It requires a specific preparatory process. It's not like nature spits out coffee in a ready to grind and drink phase, but... Just got back from the weed store? Hell yeah. I love this phase where like it's becoming so destigmatized and it's becoming like legitimate business. It's earning a lot of revenue for the states that legalize it. It's like society didn't crumble. Not at all. Nothing changed. Nothing changed. Except now people who aren't criminals aren't being thrown in prison. And people are like making good money. I don't know. Maybe there is some implication that I don't know about, but there's some deep, dark ramification, some utter destruction of the fabric of polite society. Living in the Midwest, our old politicians refuse to let it happen. Yeah. And I grew up in Texas, and I used to... Like, it's annoying, because you'd like to think... I'd like to think that they would track, like, something that has zero... You'd like to think that Texas brand of conservatism might be a little more receptive to it. The Willie Nelson brand of Texas. The Matthew McConaughey flavor of Texas, but yeah. Yeah, Candles. Texas has always been super anti-fun shit unless it explodes. Yeah, guns. Guns are like the only thing you're allowed to... That they will fight to the death to preserve. Guns and... Well, alcohol, actually. Sort of. Texas has dry counties, which is dumb as shit. God, it's stupid. I go up there. Coffee and sex, not sorry. They're both amazing. Yes, they are. Yeah, sex is one of those things. The politics of sex can get a little complicated, I guess. It's not as simple as just, like, drinking coffee, but... They have a good partner. Dancing, music. Dry counties in Texas, what the fuck else are you supposed to do? Drive to the next county and buy booze. That's kind of it. Yeah, pray, go to church. What's a dry county? A dry county is a county that cannot legally sell alcohol anywhere. So there are no liquor stores, none of the grocery stores carry it, none of the restaurants can serve it. That's real. That's real, and it's stupid. It's so stupid. There's also... Oh. No! There's also laws about, there's like blue laws about when, even if there is a liquor store. Alright. I don't think it's totally stupid. Yeah, I mean, so by the numbers, alcohol is related to a number of very, bad social elements. Driving deaths, domestic abuse, like, by the math, nobody should drink, ever. So I get that. But... What else are you gonna do in Texas? But there's also rules about, like, even if it isn't a dry county, sometimes they heavily regulate the sale of beer and wine and alcohol and kind of separate them into different categories. So there are liquor stores that have these giant shutters that can drop in the middle of the store. Ew! So that it can be a beer and wine store during the hours you're allowed to sell beer and wine, and then these giant metal shutters can open to the liquor part of the store, as long as it's a time of the week or day where you can buy liquor. I remember, like, I think on Friday, there was like a cutoff. You had to buy your liquor before 9. So everybody would get off work, and then the parking lot of the liquor stores would be, yeah, the 9 p.m. curfew? Yeah. The parking lot would be everybody just, like, trying to, like... get everything for the weekend. It was just like people running out to their cars with 12 packs under each arm. Oh yeah, that's right, Oregon. Oregon and their state booze, where like distillers have to sell liquor to the state, and then the state sells it to the store. Partially because of the bar unions. We have 1 billion bars that are unionized. The curfew drives up the bar business. I guess that makes sense if it's the only place you can get the hooch. Oh, somebody was asking about the frame rate. This is the PC version, but I did apply a performance patch, which is why the frame rate doesn't look terrible. But luckily, the patch is easy to find and easy to apply. Again, with that syncopation, I love how the drums and the bass line get like kicked off of the main beat during this part. Then it comes back in. Thought the US was the land of the free, but you can barely buy alcohol. It's not. That's the real joke. So theoretically, our system, the reason that we're free is because our system allows us to vote on whatever changes we want. That's why we're free. Except Americans are dumb as shit. And they don't vote. Or they're very easily convinced to vote against their own interests. That said, I'll say one thing in favor of the government system that we have. Any government of consensus, any government that provides a system that everyone lives under, is going to have parts that don't work for everyone. That's just how it goes. And theoretically, the grand United States experiment is that it's supposed to be the United States, right? So each state can choose what their culture is like and what their laws are like. So if you have places that are more conservative, like in the South, then they're allowed to set the rules whatever they want. If they decide that they want to completely strip away all the reproductive rights from women, then I guess they can do that. Even though it's a horrific civil rights violation. Okay, I think I got all the scales I need here. The problem is, though, gerrymandering and the hijacking of the system by the minority. It's really gross. It's really gross. Hey, you want to regress? You're allowed to? That's supposed to be the idea. And then theoretically, we have, again, all of this is theory. We have multiple states that are all conducting experiments in governance all the time. Each one of our 50 states operates in their own unique way under their own government. And then each state can look at what's going on in other states and be like, well, that's working for them. Maybe we should do it. Maybe we should do that. You know? They don't do that, though. They don't. They don't. One of the things that is difficult and baffling for me to accept is that a lot of the American South willingly adopts certain societal principles that are negative in almost every possible respect. But they double down on it because that's their culture. I've seen the video that No Man the Kid linked. Oh, from the newsroom? I'm sure I've seen it at some point. Culture and heritage. Yeah. Anyway, I'm getting sidetracked again. I'm walking down a well-trodden path for me, I guess. I like to complain about this stuff a lot. Ooh, I'm supposed to go to Apasa Beach. Oops. Dad Smiley, thanks for the resub. What's the point of complaining about this? I'm playing a beautiful video game. I'm interviewing for what I'm pretty sure is going to be a conservative Southern company tomorrow, and I'm kind of worried about a culture fit. I'm really going to have to sniff that out. Allergic Split, and the one thing I can say in that regard is, as long, like, part of that culture, at least the one that I grew up in, is that you typically don't pry. I mean, if they try to sniff out your alignment, then yeah, you probably don't want to work there. But most people are willing to live and let live. You're not supposed to bring up religion or politics type thing. But yeah, just I guess trust your gut. If you get a weird feeling, or if you think that they're trying to fish for something. Break rooms where you usually hear the worst of it. Yeah. People speak informally. Wait, you watched a lady bean one of your floor managers in the head with an iPad. What? Why? That's heavy. It has corners. I guess the thing is, like, people that are into that stuff, the QAnons and the Trumpers, they're not very subtle. If they ask you if you're a real American, like the dog whistles are pretty loud these days. The people who get swept by that stuff don't really have the, like, societal nuance. Yeah, if you're a real patriot, if you believe in America, if you believe in freedom, the scene never changes, does it? As the music kicks in, we're gonna get melancholy up in here. Been rolling in and out like this since long before we were born. Been here for eternity, it seems. Probably seen many things, heard many things. Probably keep rolling in and out, long after our lifetime without a single change. Joke's on you. We're gonna dump plastic into that motherfucker and boil it till everything dies. Because I need my Ford F-150. I legit had fears of people turning on me at my job. I had a guy get so angry, then his bag ripped, so he slammed it and his bottle of Red Bull to the ground to grab it all and then leave. Ugh. Yeah, I know you've been having a rough time at work, Pop-Tart. It can really suck if your job is stressful and also you feel alone, like you're not getting along with anyone. Then you've got nothing, really. You've got, like, it's just nothing but negativity, and then until you leave, I've had jobs like that, and it just like stacks up trash in your brain. It sucks, absolutely sucks. Oh, your service desk candles? Ugh. Yeah, I've had retail jobs where just like I didn't get along with anyone. Not like we would fight, but they just didn't like me, and so they just stayed away from me. So I would just work my shift. I'd go on my lunch break by myself. I'd go back on shift. I'd work. I'd internalize whatever trauma customers decided to throw at me, and then I'd go home and then have to, like, deal with it. I would work out a lot. Was part of it. I'd work out and I'd play video games. Those were my rhythm games. Were a good kind of meditative for me. You got trolled into quitting? Yeah? Oh, trolled into finding a different job? Oh, hey, joke's on them. They lost you. I think about that sometimes. All the motherfuckers that, like, made sure I felt like an outsider. I'm like, well, fine. You don't get me on your team then. Like, all you had to do was be civil. And at least I would, like, I did a lot of work. But that, man. People don't care. Uh-oh. He's testing me. Aren't memories strange? Just when you think you've forgotten about something, it comes floating back into your heart. I guess it's just lying there in waiting for the right moment. I wonder what I was doing when I played this for the first time. I did a lot of thinking about the future when I was a teenager. Because like I had sort of referenced, my life was getting pretty volatile then. My parents were, like, split up. My sister was doing her own thing. I was kind of on my own from age 14 on. I mean, I had a house to live in. And, you know, parents would buy food, or my dad would buy food and stuff, but... yeah, I did a lot of thinking about what I was doing, where I would go, what my life might turn into. My toxic managers try to pry so hard, but it's not in me to open up to them. I don't feel comfortable around them, only rare occasions. That's interesting. If they... I don't know. Are they trying to pry to, like, get you to be a more productive employee? I think that's what you've said before. Sounds like they're just trying to, like, do the quote-unquote manager thing. I've noticed the harder I work, the more of my coworkers' duties I have to do, so I've given up completely on that, doing only the bare minimum anymore. Yeah, if your job only does the bare minimum for you, you only owe them the bare minimum in return. It took me a long time to... Well, I don't know that I ever was ever okay with that. I like to take pride in my work, and I tend to think that if I'm working, I might as well do the job well. There's no reason not to. It's the same amount of time, right? I might as well try to get good at a skill and develop it and hold myself to a certain standard. But yeah, that gets abused. That gets taken advantage of. Oh, Opjopper. Thank you for the sub. We might even remember this very moment someday. Oh. I remember the room I was in and the setup that I had. Very similar to the setup I have now, kind of. I think I had a PC at that time. Yeah, I did. I would sit with like my PC to the left and then the TV across the room, so that I could talk to people. You know, I had my AIM Instant Messenger up, my ICQ, Mirabilis, client. Hog Wilden, thanks for gifting 5 subs. Thanks. That way I could at least feel somewhat connected. Music's making this hit harder. This is a really good track. I tried to learn this on piano, because it is a piano arrangement already. It's one of the better ones that is like pretty suited for it. Oh, they want me to be more friendly and actually chit-chat with my customers and them because it's customer service. I had my manager say it's all an act and I need to get out of my shell. It sickens me how she calls everyone sweetie because I know it's not at all genuine. Yeah, that's the weird thing. Is that being disingenuine still works on some people. I don't know. I've never really been for that. Whenever I've worked retail, I've always been my genuine self until someone starts throwing shit at me, and then I just become a robot. I'm like, okay. You've lost the privilege of talking to a human because you didn't treat me like one. Being polite and being chatty are not the same thing. Fuck those managers. Yeah, well, they have their style, right? I mean, well, I'm not in your position, so I can't say, but if I could go back to my retail jobs, I would just say, like, you're not paying me enough for that. You want to give me a raise? Like, have a number in mind. You want me to be happy at work, this is what it costs. No? Alright. I guess we're good then. I work at a very large big box warehouse with $1.50 hot dogs. Somehow management forgot it was Easter week, the start of a new coupon book, and approved a bunch of vacations. So most departments were at half staff to the extent that managers had to push carts. Well, at least they were out there doing the work, I guess. At least they were out there helping. Instead of just sitting in their offices, sleeping. Look at this. They let you choose how existential you want to be right off the top. Wonder what I'll make of this day. We'll forget it. Yeah, I guess so. That'd be really sad, wouldn't it? I've had those moments in life where, like, I had a few moments where I was like, this is the good old day. This right now. Usually when I have that realization, I do remember those moments. But I've had other moments where I'm like, this is nice. And I hope I remember it, but I probably won't. What is this? We got dialogue outside the box? Can't do that. What sort of piano do you own? I don't own a piano now. When I was trying to learn piano, I had borrowed an electronic piano from a friend. I don't remember the brand or anything. It was, just something to learn on. Here, they say I'm very serious and polite, but I can seem monotone. It's hard to sound soft when I have to yell because 98% of my customers are hard of hearing. Not to mention I'm always listening even if I am quiet. I nod and try to respond. So many times I don't have anything to say. Like when a customer laughs at themselves for fumbling their card and they look at me for a reaction. Yeah, I never developed the DNA to, like, humor everyone, I guess. I think that's what they want. They want you to humor people. And I'm guessing you don't have faith in yourself to humor convincingly. That was always me. I was like, I can't fake it because everyone's going to know. Because I know. Like, I know when I'm being humored and I don't like it. But I think I'm also overestimating other people's radar. I've been amazed sometimes at seeing other people interact where, like, humor works. The wave was a bad upscale moment. Yeah. But it was a transdimensional wave, so that's just what they look like. I returned to the sea. Just don't know how to be fake and all sugar pops can't canes. Try to respect people's time and get the transaction done quickly and efficiently. Yeah, whatever. You don't owe that to people, and especially if you're not getting paid for it. Seriously, that's what I feel like. You're not working at an Apple store, you know? It truly is managers trying to leverage words which are free to get you to create an experience for free for customers that they're not really paying you to do. I wish I'd realized earlier the value of words, because they don't have... I mean, spoken word has a lot of power, but it has no monetary value. Oh shit, I need to listen to that music more. Hold on. This is also a very, like, very feels track. Real big hot dog. Thanks for the prime. So good. Durax 2 has an interesting comment. Humoring people is a skill that can be developed. Takes practice just like any other skill. The easiest is mirroring, where you just repeat what they said using slightly different words. Yeah. Oop, sorry. That's... Yeah. It really doesn't take much, and most people aren't looking for much either. Like, usually they just want... Like, they think of a social interaction as like they're throwing a ball to you and all they want you to do is throw it back. They just want some indicator that, like, you're pulling in the same direction. That you're like, you're trying to put the sunshine into the universe the same that they are, I guess. It's a weird game. People like to be acknowledged. Yeah, it doesn't take much. I guess, yeah, it's a vibe check. Uh-huh. And not to... I guess what sometimes... This might get a little too beyond the pale, like a little too psychoanalyzing, but... Yeah, Pop-Tart, if it sounds like most of your clients are older, they may not have any other kind of socialization. So that may be why they're so desperate for it when they come into your store. Which is not your problem, you know. Nor is it a part of the job you're paid for. But could explain part of it. Are you starting the game over? Sort of, yeah. So I was playing it before on PlayStation 3. But I got a code for the Radical Dreamers edition from Square. So I figured I'll start it over on the special edition because this has fast forward from the drop. You don't have to beat the game first. And these lovingly up-resed backgrounds. Also with a performance patch that actually is not running too terribly. Your first real job I worked had managers. Let's see here. That had all kinds of really nice words that made me feel like I was part of the team and appreciated. Great one-on-ones and yearly reviews. But once I started asking for raises, suddenly I could be doing a bit more for the studio. And I was young enough that I fell for it and tried to work even harder. It took me a while to realize that the only recognition I should accept is on my paycheck. They got years of excellent from me at a bargain. Yeah? Boy, do I know how that feels. Everyone does that, I think. Unless you have, like... Unless you get, like, a bit of advice from a mentor at just the right time. Everyone falls into that trap, I think. Everyone who wants to, like, has ambition and wants to make something of themselves. It happens. It just sucks that, like, everyone kind of walks into the world innocent and naive. And there's a whole apparatus for extracting work from those people. I guess that's the way of the world, you know? Everyone gets fucked. It just happens to everybody. So yeah, I don't know if there's a solution to that. That's just like you can't, no one can go through this world without negative experiences, right? There's some really fucked up, wait, hold on. Consumerist paradigms in America that get people treated terribly. Yeah, you're right. Yeah. I think the thing that bugs me the most is that the attitude is typically like, it's not about making those jobs viable. It's not about making customer service a livable thing. It's about making it so unpleasant that it theoretically creates the goal of getting out of it. Like, everyone is only working those jobs temporarily. And it's okay that they're so shitty because it motivates you to not work those jobs. To, like, I don't know. It theoretically motivates you to, like, get secondary education or to get into, like, STEM or something like that. Artificially creating a bottom of a totem pole. Yeah, I guess. I've seen some discussion about that recently about how, like, why can't making coffee be a career? Why can't that be a satisfying and fulfilling aspect of our lives? We all like coffee. We all get coffee. Why can't somebody who's really good at making coffee do that as their job forever? And why can't that be seen as a respectable career? Serving the community with great cups of coffee. It's weird, man. Like, the only way that can happen is if, I guess, you cultivate some kind of personality around it and can, like, charge a lot. I mean, it sucks because that paradigm does exist for certain things, like what I'm doing right now. You know, playing video games and talking about stuff shouldn't, theoretically isn't skilled labor. So by the paradigm, it ought to be like a shit job that you're motivated to work your way out of. But if you get enough of a following and can do it at scale thanks to the internet, then it can become a scalable money-earning endeavor. You're an advertiser, though? That's true. That's true. It's not purely just busking for tips, even though that's how I tend to see it. You're right. There are other aspects of money in there, and the influencer aspects. So maybe that's it. You got to make coffee, but you also have to sell T-shirts. You're successful. For most people, it really is a dead end kind of thing. I guess that's true as well. Yeah, I gotta count my blessings. Most people are streaming to 1 or 2 viewers, or 0. NB, thanks for the big cheer there. The answer to this and everything else is control. They can't control us if we're equals. Pick your flavor of inequality. They all burn your ass the same on the way out. Interesting. Interesting. I get a little like, I'm not a super big believer in like this, in some vision of like a completely orchestrated system. Maybe on some level, maybe on a high enough level, it is like that, but I feel like it's a lot of individuals making self-interested choices. That's why starting your own business is really pushed. Some people don't want to be in charge of others. Huh. I mean, I started my own business. I had the experience of having my best work be absorbed and not valued by other companies. So I decided no more. I will invest in myself. Oh man, this music. I feel like I was supposed to get food so that I could have recruited Poshel, but... Also, Reverend Mooch, you bring up a good point. If there's a talk about video games resume, yours is a mile long. Yeah. I am pretty well suited to it, aren't I? Like how in this version of reality, there's a visual K singer and the granny is the one lusting over him. Radical dreamers exist in both dimensions, though. That's interesting. 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 Certainly interesting. She doesn't write poems here. She gave up on her poetry. Nobody knows about my poetry. Nobody would give a hoot about someone writing poems in a tiny cafe in the middle of nowhere. Dreams do come true. Huh. You honestly believe that? We live in the middle of nowhere in this tiny village leading small lives. Nothing's ever going to change no matter how hard you try. That's just the reality of it all. Yeah. You got a square pan. That's pretty cool. Or a triangle pan. Triangle pan, triangle pan. Frying things up in a triangle pan. People are depressed, right? There really is something special about this game. Hey, Marvelous Loco. You think video game characters dream? Do androids dream of electric sheep? I mean, we're teaching AI to dream, right? And they pop out some crazy shit. So yeah, we're basically on the cusp of that. Oh yeah, okay. In this version, the guy who was a successful fisherman and had a family now instead is kind of in a cult. A little culty. He's praying to Mojo. Oh, no, wait, I guess he does have a family. Oh, never mind. 10 years ago, my husband's friend lost a son. The boy drowned at the tender age of 7. And soon after, the boy's parents passed away too. Such a sad turn of events. That's when my husband changed. Never did I imagine it would end up like this. His way of life has changed completely. Never play any Monster Hunter games? Yeah, Benjamin. I wouldn't say that I'm like super high level, ultra elite, but I do enjoy them. I have some friends that get the crew together and play Monster Hunter sometimes. I didn't play Monster Hunter World nearly as much as I wish I could. Nearly as much as I wish I should have, but I guess that's my choice. I could be playing Monster Hunter right now, but I'm playing Chrono Cross instead. Felt an aura of longevity from Ari the cat. Not. Nice. Okay, weird. Hello there. Just praying to stupid Mojo. You feel the love and affection oozing from it. Sure can. Look at that smile. With that little kitty smile. Think about it, my brother. Brother! Oh, every day our lives are controlled by uncertainty and fear. Our spent yesterdays and our uncertain tomorrows, how we live in a meaningless today. This holy item filled with prayers protects and supports us. Come, my brother. Let us pray together, and bring peace of mind to our hearts. Where can you find true love and peace of mind? Within Mojo. Nope. Seems to be just a straw doll. All right, I'm going to show him the shark tooth from his previous life. Another version of his life. Look at the size of this thing. What's up, Brock and Roll? Howdy. What did you say? Another me? So the other me who became a fisherman asked you to give this to me. What are you talking about? That's enough. There's only one me. How can there be another me out there? Always thinking, though. Sure, there was a point in my life where I thought about becoming a fisherman. That was a good 10 years ago, but I couldn't do it. I gave up that path right then and there. I just gave up. Don't care what you say. This is the path I chose, and I don't regret it. Besides, you can't just change the way you live in a blink of an eye. Now, would you please put that thing away and leave me alone? Also, pretty common reaction to people when they're faced with uncomfortable thoughts. They just reject them. Reject them entirely and convince themselves that what they do believe in and how they have operated has been the right way. Can't remember the name of that. It's cognitive dissonance, I guess, is involved, but it's more there is a human trait where you tend to think it's like that broken road shit that like everything that happened in your life was good and right because it got you where you are. It's like thinking fondly on past decisions because oh, that's interesting. Oh. Huh. Confirmation bias? Yeah, I think that might be part of it. Yeah. Oh, see you, Jet Cougar. Congratulations on making it through another shift. Oh, I don't have kid. Ladies. Another Scorcher. Oh, James Fisto, thanks for gifting a sub. Ah, that boy was attacked by a panther demon when he was very young. I guess it left an emotional scar. Poor, poor boy. No one ever imagined such a tragedy would take place several years later. That's right, I forgot. You go to a reality where I think you need a Hecarim bone? Maybe? I'm not sure. To recruit Pashal. But yeah, this is a, I think this is a reality where Sergei died. It is Sergey? I don't know. I don't know if it's Sergey or Serge. I always figured it was Sergey, but no one ever said it out loud. It seems more continental, right? Happened to him. Oops, even sadder music. That boy died. That's nonsense. Gotta go find my own grave. Aw, makes you so sleepy. Jeez. The lullaby you heard in your mother's womb. Like the lapping of the waves on the shore. One day we will all return to the mother sea embraced by her lullaby. Yeah, pretty appropriate that there was a giant wave that knocked Sergey into the other world. The ocean dimension. I'm realizing it's kind of similar, using water and the ocean as a symbolic separation of realities in the same way that Death Stranding does. Doing here, man? I'm good. Man. This is Kingdom Hearts. This is pretty Kingdom Heartsy, Void. In the way that it plays pretty fast and loose with identity and soul at some point. And characters like splitting in half and combining with other ones, and yeah. You gotta take a lot of things as they're given to you in Chrono Cross, and like be willing to rock things on an emotional level versus an intellectual one. Hey, beat up tiny animals. Forgot to ask, what's the overarching plot of the game? You really don't know. For like the first half, it's just kind of like a meandering JRPG. I guess the plot is you get knocked into another dimension and you're just trying to figure out what the hell's going on. That's pretty much the first third of the game, and you sort of like bounce around and meet characters, and they kind of tell you where to go and what to do. Yeah, this is the remaster, BB-Mon. When the time comes for us to bid adieu, our life story will live on in the record of fate. Think about how terrible it would be if you left this world with no record of your existence. I've thought about that. When I move on, the internet will have many hours of me rambling over video games. I guess that's something to leave behind. The only things the record of fate doesn't touch upon are birth and death. I don't mind, really. don't think I really want to know. More importantly, what should I see first at the festival in Termina? Until that too is lost? Yeah. Yeah. Everything fades away in time, and then enough time. Every time I come to a decision, I always wonder what would have happened if I decided the other way. Maybe I should have done this instead of that. Maybe I made the wrong decision. But luckily, we have the record of fate. Tells us exactly what choices to make. Can't imagine life without it. Every day would be filled with anxiety and fear. Yeah, still mad at me. Yeah. Oh, and the painting's not there? I feel like that dialogue is also trying to imply that this game does have multiple paths, and that you can save and reload if you're curious about what the different choices actually result in. Can't get over how pretty the game is. I've never really seen these games before. Pre-rendered backgrounds with the characters moving over top is a really cool look. I agree. It was a really natural fit for the hardware and what it could do. It's an interesting challenge to brush them up though, because yeah, it is basically just a series of like JPEGs, PNGs. You can't make that look better in the way that you can make a 3D model render at a higher resolution. But there's been some interesting attempts. This one, there's a total like revamp up-res mod for Final Fantasy IX that looks incredible. It's a little more work intensive, but I think to kind of modernize a 2D game. Remember what happens if you stand on these when they squart. Oh yeah, it just knocks you off. Pretty sure there's a puzzle mechanic about that eventually. Oh, you haven't tackled Cuphead? Oh my gosh. Cheat Thick, Cuphead is a beautiful, beautiful game. It's a real ball tickler though. It'll slap your buns. It'll clap them cheeks. So be prepared for that. Wondering, okay, so what does this do? Does this mean I can just walk through enemies? Okay, it just turns off encounters. I mean, I'm still not getting any stat up from fighting, so there's no reason to do it. That's the interesting thing also about Chrono Cross, is it kind of does away with the traditional EXP system for most JRPGs. When you beat a boss, your star rank goes up. And your stats will only scale up to a certain point based on your star level. And it does that at the end of fights. But once you do a fight and it stops giving you any like stats, it means nothing. Like I guess you get currency and items that you can use to craft weapons, but yeah. So that's another thing that the Radical Dreamers edition does. If you click the stick, it just turns off fights. You don't have to do them, which is pretty good, I think. I played Radiant Historia for the DS. No, I don't think I did. Is it like a cat based on story progression? Sort of, yeah. There's points in the story where it is kind of open world. Oh. No one can take anything away from him, nor can anyone give anything to him. What came from the sea has returned to the sea. No fights, what do? Walk around, pick up treasure, talk to NPCs. Oh, the Capcom Fighting Collection? Yeah, I did see that. Darkstalkers rides again, huh? Yeah, get Existential. Have some thoughts. Some deep thoughts. many birds. Oh, they're not going to do the chants. The no chanting song. Alas. Salt and pepper. Love it. Love the Abbott and Costello goof characters. Another Gundam beta on PC this week. Bandai on one. Oh. Oh yeah, this is how they tutorialize you on the element system. Also, I guess they forgot some polygons for this guy. Because like Widow's Peak is partially see-through. It happens. Hey, we've all been there. Yeah, the chant is back. That's awesome. Where did it go? I mean, I'm not complaining. Maybe the performance patch brought the chant back. What the hell? I mean, great. This is great. This is the best possible outcome. I was so used to hearing it, it didn't really stick out to me right away. Is Sasuke a party member eventually? You mean Karsh? I'm gonna guess so. Usually characters that have portrait art are recruitable. Kind of the hidden language. So yeah, Lempos, there's gonna be like a vocal sample in a second that sounds like chanting to me. There's like a sha and a ho in there. Kind of sounds like battle chants. Yeah, that's in the song, but for some reason this doesn't play in the intro, or I don't know. Yeah, why is it back? I don't know. Owned. Bopped. Spanked. I think that's probably gonna give me a star rank. Yeah. Got the more triumphant ending music too. Nothing like a big old trumpet to tell you that you just did something great. So yeah, these are the stat ups you get after increasing your star level. You know, all these goodies. But eventually that just stopped happening, because I guess, I don't know. That's just how this game is. It was when Square started to get really weirdly experimental with their like JRPG progression systems. Kind of endured through PS2. Wait, is that colored grid the results menu of your abilities? If so, there are tons of them. Colored grid. Yes. Yes. The magic system in this game is a little odd. You equip tablets, I think they're called, to a grid. And then as you level up, you get more spots in the grid. Each element has a color that goes into like the field effect in order of when you use it, and some super abilities require the field effect to be a solid color. So you have to sort of... It's a bizarre system, and one that doesn't quite make sense, really. Doesn't lend itself to any greater strategy, aside from just spamming the attacks you want and hoping that the enemy doesn't mess up your colors by doing something else. Though I seem to recall if you say no to her 3 times in a row, it does like you get something else. So I'm gonna do that. I don't quite remember what happens, but I'll find out. No! No, 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 no. You pivot the character choice if you turn her down enough. I mean, you get her anyway. I think if you say no enough, you get another character on top of Kid later. I could be wrong. Whatever, let's find out. Yep. True Sigma male. That's Sergey. Her name is Kid? I thought it was Girl. She was called Girl before she told you her name was Kid. She just had a label in her text box, basically. Well, that's right. Do you recruit Lena? Yeah, okay. Yeah, I'm pretty sure you don't get Lena otherwise. You just go on with Kid. Yeah, no trumpet this time. A little flute. Oh, that's how you get Poshel. Oh, okay. I seem to remember, like, having to show Poshel a bone. Poshel's favorite food. Maybe Poshel leaves after a while. I don't know. I don't remember. Whatever, I have a full party now. There are 3 ways to get Poshel. Okay. Because there was that, like, hint about... One is by boning her. Where do you get the bone, though? Damp pudding. I'm crazy. Where do you get the bone? Because I was like, it was coming back to me a little bit. It was in Homeworld? Damn it. Where was it? In the back of the bar? Ah, ah, okay. Alright. Are there characters you can miss if you do something wrong? Yeah, I mean, there are characters you will miss, because you have to. The game is sort of designed around it. The little armadillo dog is guarding it on the bed. Ugh. How did I miss it? Yeah, there's a lot to miss. But whatever. Poshel's recruited. If I go back down here now, or if anything's different. Or I showed that guy the error of his ways. No, he's still praying. Oh, okay. Yeah, you need multiple playthroughs. Recruit every character. I don't know if having all the characters unlocks anything in terms of like story or endings though. Because I'm pretty sure you can get the best ending or like the good ending by just playing the game. I don't know if you need any characters specifically. to do that. Just let him pray to Satan in peace? Yeah. Stop messing with his worldview. He's clearly got it all figured out. But does the Triforce on the ground mean anything? Maybe? Nothing that occurs to me right away. Alright, I'm gonna take a break, use the restroom and get some water. I'll be right back. Don't drift off into an existential void, everybody. Sun's out, gotta go to bed. Girlfriend is taking me to a jousting tournament tomorrow. Awesome. That sounds great. I hope you have a good time. I'll be right back. We're all rooted, right? We all know why we're here and what we're doing. Yes? Yes? I'm sure we do. There's all these other, like, areas, though, here. What's the Hydra Marsh for? I'm supposed to go to Termina, which is up through Fossil Valley. Oh, tough, you gotta go to bed? Yeah, that's how it goes. Oh! A mystery location. What the heck? I'm here to worship. I'll see you. How tough am I? Sleep well. May you dream normal dreams. Wake up feeling connected to reality. Finders keepers. Another Zelda reference. Termina was in Majora's Mask. That's true. Well, maybe thematically this game might have some things in common with Majora's Mask. Yeah, Butt Juice. Great name. The visuals and the music in this game are just superb. The story elements I like, even if they can get a little out there, a little esoteric. This game released 1 year earlier than Majora's Mask. Really? Huh, for some reason I thought Majora's Mask would have been earlier. That's interesting. It was a again, I swear it must be this, it has to be this, like, post-Evangelion wave of, of things getting really heady and philosophical. Oh, okay. Mama Dingo's mad because I killed her kid. That makes sense. I'd be mad about that. Got some XCOM accuracy going on over here. Jeez. Chrono Cross was released in 99 and Majora's Mask in 2000. Evangelion is 98, I think. I thought Evangelion was earlier than that. I mean, if Evangelion was only 1 year before this, that's... I suppose that might be enough time for one to influence the other, but that's pretty tight. Yeah, Evangelion was 95, 96. That makes way more sense. I could also be massively, oh shit. Probably shouldn't have done that. I could be massively overestimating the cultural influence of Evangelion. That's like the one thing that I saw. And it certainly has similar energy, I think. To me, my headcanon is that Evangelion came out. It was sort of a, it was a phenomenon, and it showed Japanese creators, the Japanese audiences, had a thirst or maybe even just a tolerance for really heady philosophical subject matter. Okay, probably should be going up here, but I'm going up here anyway. Musica Jamasoida? Or Homisoida? I'm drunk enough, it's 2 a.m. and I work tomorrow. Good night. Alright, good night. Hopefully you sleep it off before you gotta go to work. Oh yeah, I think there's something very bad down there that will kick my ass right now. That's the other thing about this game, is you can wander into places you have no right being. Oh, you don't have the right. I'm gonna go down there anyway. See what's down there. Get whooped upon. What the? Oh shit. The fuck is that pink thing following you? That's partial! Uh-oh. I think this might kill me. I have strong feelings that something around here is going to kill me. Kill me big and kill me bad. But we'll see what happens. You know what? We'll see. Oh, it's squarking. Okay, well, that could have been worse. Still squarking. Hey, what's up, Charlie? I need to get Lena some elements. Getting pecked. Okay, well that hurt, but it didn't kill. Well, it's hurt. I can probably kill it. Probably. Ah. Spell effects specifically look way worse in the remaster than I remember them. Yeah? I don't remember them looking particularly great. I just remember the frame rates being so low. I guess it did have some pretty spell effects. I'm also casting some pretty base level spells right now. The frames down to 15 FPS, then fill the screen with effects? Yeah, more like 5. Whatever. Early 3D was just like, whoa, it's 3D! Polygons! People were sort of willing to accept that the game was gonna chug like a mad dog just for polygons. It was all worth it for the polygons. Okay, I got a bellflower. That's probably important. Oops. Blossom and only blooms in False Valley. All right. I like that sometimes you have to read the descriptions to get the lore. Again, all goes back to Soulsborne. Always and forever. person walking over there. I want to talk to them. Why are you doing that? Also, this other NPC over here. They have the lost dialogue. The hidden texts. Oh shit, that's right. Well, we found the clown skeleton. I forgot about him. That's where the noise was coming from. You and I are both dead, eh? I don't know how I ended up like this. I don't have a body and I don't remember a thing. Sure. Nothing like a skeleton that really enjoys being a skeleton. Alright. Okay. There he is. Human skull painted with clown's makeup. It says it's searching for its body and lost memories. I still think if I go down this ladder, this bone ladder over here, I'll get dicked. I'm pretty sure there's something that's gonna murder me down there. I'm just gonna leave. What was the name of the skull in Planescape Torment? I want to say Murray, but I think that was a different skull. I think Murray is from a different video game. Morty? Morty? Morte? Oh, it's that bird. Hey, maybe I beat up the other bird. I bet I can beat up that bird. Let me go save though. There was some point and click adventure game, I think, that had a skull named Murray. Ooh, Jair Malone. Thank you for the resub. It was Monkey Island? Okay, I was thinking Monkey Island. Because I remember what Murray looked like, and I was like, that feels like Monkey Island. Monkey Island 3, I think? Which is not going to be canon soon, I guess. What is it? Return to Monkey Island takes place after Monkey Island 2? They're pulling a Superman Returns, I guess. You want to get a life-size skeleton? You deserve a life-size skeleton. I think you would... I think a skeleton would enhance your life. Alright. Try this combat in ultra fast forward. Wait, does it even apply to combat? Oh, it kind of does. Alright. You can just mash your way through it. Alright. Yeah, no, I'm not getting stat ups anymore, so... There's no point. Also, I think you can take the egg and leave. Yeah, I think this is maybe what I did. But I'm still gonna fight this thing. Because if it's just a dodo... I already beat up a dodo. Who cares? Unless this is a super dodo. As a kid and as an adult, I don't understand how leveling works in this game. Yeah, it's weird. It's weird. I think they were actually trying to move away from... the dynamic of, like, grinding. So... Every time you fight like a story boss, your star level goes up. The optional bosses in the world also can increase your star level, so there is an aspect of like, if you explore around and find optional fights, you can increase your stats that way, but once your star level raises, your base stats will scale based on that star level. And they scale up every time you get in a random encounter, or you finish a random encounter. But they only scale up so far. So like your stats will cap out at a certain point. So when you finish a fight and your stats don't go up anymore, that means they won't go up anymore ever until your star level goes up, which means that like there's no reason to get in any fights unless you're trying to get money or crafting items. Until your star level goes up again. So, and the fact that like encounters aren't random in this game, it really does seem like they were trying to sort of change the dynamic of JRPGs a little bit, make combat a little more purposeful, sort of. Didn't one-shot before, so I should be fine. Yeah, that just hurts a lot. Fuck. My mother-in-law had a horse skull just keeping dust in the house we rented before. I asked her about it and told her I've always wanted my own skull if she didn't want it. On the day we moved, she gave me a giant gift bag, and the beautiful skull was resting in it, and now sits on our fireplace. Oh, that's awesome. That's a good place for a skull, too. Oh, shit, that did not heal very much. Okay, dead. I took your baby and I killed you. Utterly defeated. One second. Sorry, just got some correspondence to deal with. Sorry, I'm just coordinating with Bruce. He actually traveled to Florida for an extra live stream, but he flew back, so we landed. We got to record an Inside Games, covering all the ins and outs about the latest CD Projekt announcements. I found a pretty juicy nugget in there about the multiplayer. I listened to a 90-minute conference call today as part of my diligent games journalism. I don't think it's enough to like lead with. I don't think it's enough for a headline, but that's just what happens. That's what you got to do. It's for love of the craft. Tom Hanks taint. Well, thank you. Thank you for the kind message. Your streams are always a treat. Thanks for doing you. Hey, I'm glad that anyone gets anything out of it. This is actually pretty therapeutic for me. Yeah, this is one there. Set up as being the dorky characters. This is the aside in the episode of Naruto where there's some hijinks happening. Let's shake it. We're really gonna shake it to you this time. That's actually a really good catchphrase for a dude named Sultan Pepor. Computers are rocks, technically. Yeah. Somebody in some stream in chat, I always remember this phrase because it's a really good phrase. It was like, we electrified a rock and taught it to think. And that's what most of our society is based on right now. Rocks that we shocked into thinking. I never did realize that, yeah, the element grid kind of looks like the periodic table. Huh, how about that? They're not squares, though. They're rectangles. Whatever. computers are flattened sand with lightning trapped in them that we enslaved to do math. And then we load it up with instructions so that it creates a facsimile of interactivity. The illusion of video tricks us into thinking we're interacting with other people. If you abstract it out enough, it is pretty existentially depressing. Maybe I should beat the shit out of Salt. Or, no, sorry. That's Pepor. Yeah, it shows naked people. We taught it to show us cave drawings of titties. Hell yeah. Said this before, I'm grateful to you and everyone here. Even if we are a veil of ourselves or just being ourselves, and even if we don't all exactly know each other, I love you all and consider you family. Thank you for everything and being a comfortable space where I can be me. Yeah, that's life, you know? That's what we're all searching for, I think. Ooh, got pepper boxed. Give me the old pepper box. Give me the works. But yeah, I love it. I mean, Twitch is sort of the virtual version of something that I always wanted in real life. And had some success finding and creating, but just a social space centered around video games. It's weird to me that it's not a more common thing. I guess arcades were that, and I certainly spent a lot of time in arcades once I had the money and adjacency to an arcade. But I've seen bars like this in Japan where you sit at it wasn't even a table. Like, yeah, it was a segment in Game Center CX, and I've thought about it a lot. Oh, I got another star level. Nice. I thought about it since seeing it, but it's like, it was a bar, but you would go into a room that was basically like a living room, and then there was just like a Famicom and a Super Famicom hooked up, and then the drawers had just like game cartridges in them, and then the servers would just bring you drinks that you ordered, and you would just hang out there and like play games and talk with your friends, and that's just like the perfect spot. Holy shit. Where like somebody can just idly play a game and people can talk and have some booze brought to you by a server. I mean, I guess you're just recreating a living room in that circumstance, but it seemed so cozy. Alright, Termina. Best music in the game. Well, oh wait, no, it's another Termina, not this Termina. Oh no, wait! It kicks up the good music right after this. I think there's like this interaction with Glenn first. Glenn, yes, Glenn. Something that may or may not be a reference to Chrono Trigger. There's a couple of kind of almost references to Chrono Trigger, but it never really goes directly on the nose. There's a purple-haired scientist lady that is sort of referential of Luca, but it's not really Luca. It's one of those weird things. Isn't Luca actually in the game? Well, there are characters that have different names that seem like they are the other characters. Like, Magus is kind of in the game, but he's called Guile, and he never really refers to himself as being Magus, but he has purple hair, and he does exactly the same things Magus does. So yeah, we find a traumatized version of Luca at some point. Oh, do you actually? Okay. Death God, thanks for the prime. Hope you're having a nice night. I am having a nice night. Yeah, I'm having a nice night. I'm a little hungry, but I'm gonna eat later. Waiting for Boost to get off the plane. Then we're gonna do our little recording call with Charlotte. Get our inside games in the can. And then I will pull my blankie to my chin. Oh, hold on. The world needs more jigs. That's not racist. That's music. There's like a jaw harp in there. Boing. Ah, so good. Dry Run writes, there was a place in my hometown that had a ton of TVs and couches and consoles and such that you'd rent for a while and you'd just hang out with people and play games. Made pizzas there that you could buy too. Got a bunch of PCs in the back room you could land on as well. It was 2 blocks away from my high school. It was awesome while it lasted. Didn't make enough money and closed after a couple of years, but it was an awesome spot to hang with friends after school. Yeah, that sounds ideal. Oops, sorry, clicked off. Yeah, that's it. That's the spot. I mean, that's what Twitch is for me now. Even the lurking aspect of Twitch to me is it's like being in a space like that and you're just kind of like enjoying being around people. I think that's the introvert side of me is I like sometimes being in a room with people and I like observing people interacting and laughing and talking. And it's nice to even be in a like a conversation circle too, but just kind of like take it all in, just listen. That's really fun when drinking. Oh my gosh. When other people are cutting up and talking about shit and you're just there sipping on a beer, feeling the groove. The temptation to only lurk is overwhelming. I think it's fine. Oh, I can finally talk to the stone. I lurk all the time. I very rarely talk in Twitch chat. Like, what's the point of saying a thing? What's the point? It's only going to open you up to, I don't know. I guess I feel the sting of negative social interactions a little too keenly, but I'm just like, man, why? Why? I don't need anyone to validate what I think about anything. I don't need anyone to tell me that I'm smart or that my thoughts are correct and profound. Which is ironic, considering talking is all I do when I stream. God, that bass line is out of this world. Ugh. I feel like you're exposing all of chat, yeah. Love your streams with people in chat. I'll lurk most of the time. Hey, that's fine. That's totally fine. Backgrounds look pretty good. They're a little bubbly and a little warbly. It's that again, that AI upres kind of reminds me of there was a Photoshop filter that made everything look like it was shrink wrapped in plastic. Kind of looks like that. Like why are there are all these like accent lines and stuff on everything? It makes it kind of look like crinkled paper. What's weird is it's making me think about Fantasian that has like actual photos as the backdrops, and there you get a lot of texture due to the handcraft of everything. You can see the texture of the paper or the texture of like brush strokes in the backdrops, which really does incidentally make it a superb format for recreating that kind of game. It's rock texture? Yeah, it could be. I mean, it doesn't look bad. It's got a look. Not a bad one, really. On the latest IG about live service games, you said something that really resonated with me. You set out with Halo Infinite, or maybe just games in general. The way most of the cosmetics are behind the battle pass, there isn't really a drive to play the multiplayer, because there isn't something there to make it seem like a worthy investment. Yeah, I think in terms of like looking at games and the time you spend with them as an investment, you want to start feeling like you're getting a return on that investment, or that time is contributing to some greater value. that feeling is only going to get more intense, especially when like blockchain games and play to earn games start to proliferate, when people actually do feel like that they are generating monetary value by playing a game. But yeah, I think that is a feeling that is cultivated by games to get you to start, like to get you to buy in. And then they try to like reinforce that with by giving you like a screen that has all of your unlocks on it, or unlocks that tell you straight away that you have like 20 out of 52 skins, and getting that number high. Ooh, it feels real good. But what's crazy is when and I've seen this happen, and I get it. Like, I get the emotional response. But when you think about it on a deeper level, it becomes absurd. When like a game doesn't offer enough rewards, and then people be like, well, why should I even play? And that's when, like, when you say something like that out loud, it should instantly, like, make your brain shatter. Like, I shouldn't have to ask that question, but I am, because I've been trained to think about gaming time as an investment, and that it rewards or contributes to a cumulative value that causes the game experience to be more rich or valuable. But yeah, if you're not playing a game because it's fun, then they got you. Like, they twisted your brain up. You got brain pretzeled. Play the game that's fun. And if your motivation is anything other than playing a game because it's fun, that's a little concerning. Which is, yeah, why Halo Infinite is a really bizarre case. Because Halo Infinite is fun to play. And clicking next match should be motivated because the last match you played was fun and you want to play another one. But now the mental calculus is bizarre. I think it's when you sit down to choose what game to play, you have all that stuff rattling around in your brain about the retention mechanics and the idea that when you end the night, you'll have something that you didn't have when you started, that you've progressed somewhere, you got bigger. So when people sit down and they play Halo Infinite, they want to feel like they're going to get a shoulder pad out of it, and that their Halo man will look a little bit different and a little bit closer to something that is uniquely theirs by the end of the night. But that's not how Halo started, man. People played Combat Evolved because it was fun, and they liked bopping each other in the back of the head with a giant rifle stock. So, yeah, sign of the times. It's really interesting. At some point, we're going to be so beyond the rainbow that like games will only be progression systems and like the illusion that your time is not being just evaporated. We need that sense of progression to give meaning to our gameplay. Games didn't used to have these reward streams, but we used to play multiplayer games with friends in person more often, and that was the point. The reward was the time spent having fun with friends. We didn't need meta progression. That's a good point, Dry Run. I don't know if this is the point you're making, but I'm going to make it for you. Perhaps playing online through random matchmaking with zero social interaction, you don't get the reward of socialization and fun with other people. Instead, you get a somewhat less fulfilling gameplay match with what is, well, maybe, bots for all you care, that just play like assholes. So then the reward has to be something else. It has to be the shoulder pads and skins and avatar frames. Okay, that is the point you're making. All right. Good. I don't disagree. I find multiplayer games somewhat unfulfilling. The most fulfilling multiplayer games for me are one-on-one, because then it's very easy to isolate my skill level and the impact it made on the match. But you get into something like Overwatch or Call of Duty or Halo Infinite to a slightly less degree, where it is just these giant chaotic systems or heavily complicated systems where your inputs are visible but hard to isolate and hard to appreciate. Did you find any fulfillment with 14? Absolutely. So first of all, 14 is cooperative. I've had some fun and I would say rewarding interactions with people in the text chat in my party, but that's PC, so I can type. For me, the biggest reward with 14 though is the game itself. I really enjoy playing the game. I enjoy the mental process of playing the game, and I enjoy the art and the music in the game. So that's kind of it. Is like I enjoy the mechanics of doing the fights, and I enjoy the reward of seeing crazy boss fights and hearing the outrageous music that plays. 14 has a again, it's always Soulsborne. Like, I play Soulsborns. I like the mechanics as well, but it's a little more chaotic than something like 14. But the reward for me in a Soulsborne is getting to a boss, is seeing that crazy fucking thing crawl out of the ground, and then the music kicks up, and you get to see its attacks, and you get to see it like cast these crazy spells. Just beholding that is the like reward for me. Elden Ring has a few other aspects to it that are also rewarding, but yeah, for me the point of beating the boss is so that I can see the next one. And you know, it's overcoming that challenge is really fun too. 14 has a really well-defined challenge that it poses to each individual player. And as a healer, I know if I'm doing a good job or not. You know, if I'm on my feet, I'm doing pretty good. If I'm taking a nap, oof, something to improve on. And then also, I feel like 14, the feedback mechanics it gives you are pretty direct. If you get through a boss fight and you don't get knocked out, that's pretty good. You learned. If you get through it and nobody else gets knocked out as a healer, that's great for me. I mean, it's a mix of my skill and theirs, of course. But yeah, as someone who doesn't play online multiplayer, I like achieving the rewards that the game offers, which allow me to play, explore, fight, as you mentioned, every mechanic of the game. Yeah, 14 in their most recent patch actually added the trust system to the older dungeons too. So now you can play through the entire game by yourself if you want to. You can play through all the dungeons with AI. I'm pretty sure you can do the whole story that way now. You don't ever have to queue, ever, if you don't want to. Which, for an MMO, that's pretty cool. Kirby in the Forgotten Land rewards you for completion. You get pictures in your house. Oh, I love it. I love it. I'm all about like, oh, kid's mad. I'm all about non-traditional rewards. I'm all about games being expressionistic. Whatever format and form the creators want to express themselves. I mean, at some point it is purely audio-visual, like that's kind of what they have to deal with. But there's a lot of freedom within those boundaries. And I always think about the short story sequences in Lost Odyssey. So moving. There's some of that in Fantasian as well. The whole town gets more lively as you progress and rescue Waddle Dees. I love town growth mechanics. Yeah. That's really satisfying. Oh, Lisa's a cutie. Oh. Oh yeah, a hub world to look at them on a shelf in my room. NPCs that like go back to a town and go talk to them. I didn't need to buy some of these, I think. Valhalla had a grow your own town thing, and even that wasn't enough to keep me hooked. Oh, it did? I didn't get that far. Oh yeah, Animal Crossing. Befriending and then gifting your villagers daily. Eventually, they gift you a photo of them. Oh, I didn't know that. Oh, I didn't play enough. That's awesome, though. Ooh, I got a tech. I mean, to throw it all the way back, Suikoden had that. When you would recruit NPCs, they would walk around your, like, castle. And then the concept was this was the sort of army. Oh, the army that you would raise to like fight the story battles. Actually, yeah, very literally. There, like, God, I can't believe I forgot about that. Yeah, Suikoden had like army battle scenarios, and then you would appoint the NPCs that you recruited to lead your combat units, and they could die. Kind of like Fire Emblem, actually, now that I think about it. So yeah, pretty intense way to like have story follow through and have like some weight to the people you would send into battle. Because you wouldn't see them walking around your like castle anymore if they ate it in a combat encounter. This dude found a blue tip mushroom. Seems a little suspect. There's a big hole in it. Underground waterway. Perfect place for rare mushrooms to grow. And it goes to Viper's Manor. All right. That's right, there's like 3 different ways to get to Viper Manor, which I will have to do for some reason that I don't remember. I love a good pegboard display of all your weapons. Does Doom and Cyberpunk have that in common? That's pretty good. I never did quite fill out the wall of weapons in Cyberpunk. I guess there's a lot of missable exotic weapons. I always kind of told myself that I would have a run where I collect all that stuff. Here's Magus, air quotes, Magus, Shala. No, he's Guile. He got a strong chin. He's got a rockin' chest. You have a town in England. The story is about making connections with surrounding kingdoms to gain allies. You have a hometown that you unlock more settlements on for various boosts and upgrades and conduct raids from. On paper, it sounds amazing, but it's the modern AC problem of just being too much game. I don't need hundreds of random side quests and thousands of upgrades when each one is like a 1.2% boost to some stat. Yeah, yep, again, it's that giving you the sense that this is a game you can sink the next 6 months into, and every time you play, you will get some incremental fluff. And then every time you look at your stats page and see your spread of buffs, you will feel validated. All that time you spent doing the exact same thing over and over again amounted to something. Amy Dan, thank you for the sub. Angel Frame, what's up? I'm home from my favorite bar down in Newport. Kind of in the mood to kiss someone, kind of in the mood to complain about my 26 years of living. Yeah, it sounds like you're in a bar, all right. Man, if that's not the entire vibe of being in a bar, I want to complain about my life. Also, I'm low-key horny like all the time. Well, if it's a great night, you'll be able to do both. Did you enjoy Elden Ring and the rewarding bosses? Oh, absolutely. Yeah, Elden Ring is a absolute delight. I'm not done with it yet, though. I haven't beaten it yet. So got to do it. Yeah, every time I play Elden Ring, I have a wonderfully satisfying experience. I knew a guy who worked on AC Valhalla, said they had a more concentrated upgrade system, but an EP wanted to be able to say that they had a level up system with hundreds of upgrades. They had to split the progression into smaller increments to make it true. I mean, that's a tagline that will appeal to certain types of people. Oh yeah, the Frozen Flame. That thing has deep plot significance, but I can't remember quite what it is. I'm pretty sure that's what Kid is after. Even the boys are becoming glamorous. I thought it was weird that a character in a JRPG said that, because me growing up in a conservative Texas town was certainly taken aback when I saw Visual K for the first time. They look like ladies. Uh-oh. I don't know what that means. if you click both the sticks, it makes that show up. Who knows what that means? You're not working. Oh boy, it's a bit racist, isn't it? Only a teensy bit. Whimsical classicism. Yeah, that's it. That's the one. So, let me think. There's 3 ways to get to Viper Manor. One is Guile, one is Nikki, and then... I'm trying to remember the third. This is one of the branching paths. Pierre. That's right, thank you. Damn Pudding, I'm glad you're here. You seem to be the resident Chrono Cross expert. Tried to live my way, but maybe I've just been drifting along, trapped in the ebb and flow of the ocean's tides. Wouldn't you agree? She's already... Oh, god damn it, he's talking to his dead wife. Just old memories of the game? Okay. Yeah, my memories are pretty deep and dusty, even though I played this exact part pretty recently. I got to Viper Manor. Viper Churros. I guess if you wanted to draw parallels, this would be maybe similar to the Millennial Fair in Chrono Trigger? Wait. Dry Run. It has an auto upgrade ability? Awesome. I do remember in Borderlands 2 when they added that thing where you got like account-wide boosts to certain stats, I was like, oh yeah, that's good stuff. Now I can play all the characters, and it'll all matter. I'll admit, like 14 scratches that itch too, the way that all the jobs are combined on one character. So everything you do kind of flows into one pile of progress. You're not dead or anything, are you? You might be the key to the destruction of this entire planet. Interesting. A man with no fate, because he's dead. He will not find a boyfriend for a long time. Love that J-Rocker looking character. Yeah. Nikki? You can recruit him. And he fights with a guitar. He has a move where he just bashes a guitar over the enemy's head. It's awesome. That's right. I'm pretty sure you can recruit the mermaid, too. JRPGs are truly something special. Yeah, they are. Guldove. I don't remember that. Give you goods for your unwanted elements. Eh? Oh. Eh? I guess I can only get tablets right now. Alright, alright. I like how the music faded out while there was dialogue, even though no one was talking. It's like AC games always have one good mechanic. They discontinue it for a while and then reintroduce it later. Eh. The Fishman. Assassin's Creed games are interesting. They're a very refined rolling engine of like customizing themselves specifically to the whims of the players. They seek to be like friction-free idle machines. You can go into an Assassin's Creed game and just slap buttons. I don't remember what the point of picking these up are. Oh, I like how it makes you move slower when you're holding them. I'll show people how tough I am. I'm pretty tough. I carried both. I feel like Assassin's Creed really jumped the shark in terms of story. I mean, I guess it was pretty shark jumpy from the get. They're like meta video game stuff. I was super into it. I liked it. The problem is that like it told the audience it was going somewhere, which meant it had to go somewhere. That was its downfall. And then they just kind of gave up on that, which was probably the right decision in the first place. I didn't mind Origins, yeah. But it's like the tightest gameplay loop they had was you use bird, Senu, I think. You scout a base, and then you sort of decide how you want to approach it, and then ideally you have this almost Far Cry loop where you observe, you plan, you execute. And then theoretically, if you're stealthy enough, you can like get to your objective faster or more efficiently, sort of. But then they took out the like one-hit stealth kills and made it more of a grindy, levelly thing. And when they did that, it was like, well, all right, what's the point then? That kind of throws the whole calculus of stealth or playing intelligently, giving you any kind of direct feedback. Because it's like, if you have to kill a certain NPC and stealth only does like half their damage, you're going to have to fight them anyway. So then you might as well just run up to them and beat the shit out of them until they're dead. And that's what the game became very quickly. Yeah, removing or minimizing the assassin aspect from the assassin game was an odd choice. Yeah, it became more of the Far Cry loop, where it's more about like, it's more about dicking around in a sandbox of AI, which is fine. That's one of the reasons I liked Unity, though. Unity tried to be like Assassin's Creed 1. It tried to be a stealth-based assassin game, and then Syndicate was just Batman. And then Origins was, yeah, like an open world Batman, which is cool, you know, but it's its own thing. And yeah, it just became kind of like an action RPG instead of a stealth game. Who the heck played AC games as an assassin game? You slaughter thousands to stab one guy? Not in Assassin's Creed 1. In Assassin's Creed 1, they had the facsimile of like all the mini games were gathering information, and then your assassination missions were killing the one guy and getting out, which I really liked. I didn't mind the towers either because each tower was its own challenge in terms of how to climb it, and how to get up, and like what guards you needed to take out to be able to get to the top. First game was rigid. It was, yeah, but I didn't mind that. Because the experience was good. It was a little more scripted and yeah, a little more narrow. But... And then 2 was like, it's crazy how quickly they started going to like, okay, whatever the players want, we'll give it to them. Whatever they say they want, we'll change the game to be that. The way that they tricked people into thinking it wasn't as repetitive, because that was the big argument for the first one. It's too repetitive, same thing. Is that they just made the minimap icons different. That's all they did. And then they added a ton more bits and widgets to do. But when... I remember Assassin's Creed 2 was the first map game, where you open up the map and there's all these icons. And as long as the icons are different, then people will think that they're doing different things. But if you have a map and all the icons look the same, God help you. Ezio was a fun character. He started off as a fun character. I liked seeing his like change from being a playboy to being a burned out old man, which was pretty cool. I thought there were some character moments that got skipped over in terms of that transition, but at least it was there. Connor was sort of a cool character. 3 was like the first game where they didn't really show you a whole character arc. And Edward had even less of a character arc. Although I guess he's an interesting character to think about. One thing I do appreciate Ubisoft games for, and the narratives that they used to have, is that their protagonists weren't always video game protagonists. They weren't always good people, and they didn't always experience a neat, tidy character arc over the course of the game. I remember Watch Dogs was pretty interesting for that, because Aiden is kind of a douche. Aiden kind of sucks. He's not a good person. But you play as him, and you see the story from his perspective. I'll be a good guy. Good thing I got that flower. How about Rayman? What's his deal? Rayman just wants to free all the lums so that he can go back to chilling out in his tree, I think. Yeah, Edward was in 4. He didn't become an actual assassin until the very end of the game. And even then, just barely, right? Like, it was just kind of a whoopsie thing, and then the game ends, and that's it. And Edward still is kind of a prick. Like, he doesn't do anything good. He just wants to be free to the expense of his, like, his wife / girlfriend or whatever. He just kind of leaves her because he gotta be out. Didn't 2 introduce the optional side objectives and missions like kill X without sounding the alarm to get 100% completion? I think it did, and I think that was their attempt to provide some path for players that cared about playing in that way. That cared about stealth or wanted to challenge themselves to do it. That was a pretty decent compromise at the time. Any general cyberpunk optimization tips? Young turkey. I would say the easiest one is to just turn on DLSS or AMD Fidelity casts, or whatever it's called. If you have access to it. I think most video cards can do that. If you're talking about performance. Black Flag felt like a good pirate game forced into the franchise. Yeah. DLSS causes ghosting? That it does. Well, there's always going to be trade-offs. Yeah, I remember in Black Flag, I got some mission to assassinate somebody. So I drove my boat over there. I got off my boat. I ran to where the guy was. And there was just a dude standing in the middle of a big abandoned island, just standing there. And I just sprinted up to him at full sprint, stabbed him in the neck. And I left his dead body there. It's a mission accomplished. I was like, what did I just do? Like, what was that? It was a lot of time to just hit a button on somebody and be told I did a good job. And that was honestly most of Black Flag for me. People really liked the shanties. And they liked the boat battles for some reason. They were pretty brain dead, actually. The boat fights were cool looking, but there was nothing to them. And then, yeah, the assassination aspect was completely gone. It was just an open world action game. So, whatever. I mean, it was still fun, I guess, but... I love the co-op pirate game you and Bruce played with others. The X-Boat series Boat. I think that was just Sea of Thieves, which is great. Now, Sea of Thieves is a game that is really interesting for people to wrap their heads around. Because it is a game about the experience, not necessarily the payoff. Or the assurance that everything you do is contributing to a neat and tidy collection of collectibles. It's a game where when you start, you have no idea why you're playing or what you're going to do. But like 2 hours in and you're like, this is the coolest thing ever. But you just have to trust. You just have to throw your fates to the ocean and let it take you away. Cyberpunk is truly my top 5 games, and I love watching you play. I always have your videos in the background in general. Thanks for making me feel like I have a friend. Hey, no problem. No problem. But at least you acknowledge that it is illusionary, because yeah. But I understand. I do that quite often too. It's just nice to have somebody around. I gotta get back to playing Cyberpunk too. What a beautiful game. I haven't even seen a lot of the 1.5 stuff either. I haven't seen Panam slide into my DMs with those lewds. What? Poshel can talk to the dog? You've rucked out for today. Is Poshel gonna throw down? Speaking of dead games, yeah. Fucking Quantum Dreams Horror of the Orient. And I haven't heard that referenced in a while. Probably for the best. Ooh. Copper. Oh, that was Team Bondi. That's right. You're right. I'm sorry. What? Did they just... What happened to them? They died? Okay. Yeah. There you go, then. That's it. Couldn't remember when they officially fizzled, but... Oh, we got a Scottish fella. Zippa, Zappa's wife. I mean, he just said... Well, whatever. Every time the hammer strikes, a wee bit of my soul goes with it. I guess what I'm saying is, your soul is what makes the sword. Ruin the sword. Wow. I have you in this game. It's music on one screen. Batman Begins on another screen. Destiny on the middle screen. Is your ADHD-addled brain... Oh, that's why. Okay. Satisfied with the level of stimuli. Hey, there's Pierre. Sound enabled for all three. Yowza. That's a lot. I can handle a lot of visual. I guess I can handle... I can usually handle a game and then a vocal track from something else on top of it. Maybe like a movie, a show, or a stream. But that's kind of where I cap out. 2 sources is about all I can track. Hero metal. I feel like I had that before. I don't know where that's from. Maybe this is it. Dang it, I don't want to... Pretty sure I don't have anything this kid is interested in. You want an egg? No? Alright. I'll see you, Kironimo. Have a good night. Why is it sparkling? Why are you telling me to go here? Oh, one of the beds is really disheveled. ...2022 started way too aggressive, if you ask me. In the year? There's been a lot going on. I guess there's a fresh war in the world. That's pretty aggressive. Sniper boss. Huh. I have a question for you. Sorry, I keep hitting that. You're asking me what my favorite kind of liquid is. I'm going to ask you where you got the idea to ask that. Because I have actually seen that question pop up a lot on Twitch. Also, the answer is cum. It's always cum. Semen. Testicle juice. Fresh squeezed. Nad flow. That's what I'm about. The nectar of man, exactly. God's yogurt. Baby batter. That's because I'm very thirsty and I don't know what to drink. Interesting. Well, cum is your answer. So, hopefully you regret asking. I don't want men's yogurt? Too bad. You asked, I answered. Those are the rules. That's how this goes. What a cool artist studio, man. Glass ceilings, this cool deck. Ugh. But is it art? Oh, I see. All right. The son's name is Van, and the father's name is Goh. Of course. All right. Yes, of course. Dad's an accountant. Son is an artist. We got us a classic conflict here. feel like I should have some item to show him, but I have no idea what it would be. Oh yeah. How tragic. How tragic. The mother fell ill during childbirth, so the father switched from being a painter to being a businessman to afford the money to keep her healthy. How tragic. What is the item I picked up, though? It's not showing up in the item list, which is odd. Maybe it gave me money? Maybe. Just checking to see if anything changed. Oh, he is in here. All right. Huh. What is the meaning of my life? A lot of characters wondering that in this game. Oh, it might be equipment. Huh. Have I been able to accomplish anything meaningful? Of course, I've never stopped working diligently. I've even earned myself this nice house and a good maid to keep it tidy. But I've also wondered if I've lost something very dear to me. For now, all I can do is just keep holding on to my treasures. And they just put it right out there, don't they? Again, I love how everyone in this game is in the middle of an existential crisis. This game keeps thinking its thoughts. Sure does. What's weird is I don't feel like there's been a really strong clarion call to go to Viper Manor. Oh, okay. He made his money on counterfeit paintings? $100G is a bit much for a churro. Oh, shoot. I'll go 25. Oh, too low. Another 50. Okay, alright. Hopefully that'll go well. Move some churros there. My nice, steady girlfriend Rachel has stopped playing house with me ever since she heard he was coming. Is he really that attractive? Yes. Rachel! Oh, hurry up and go home. I hate it when you lose your girlfriend to a hot J-rock artist. We all hate it. Minor Tom, thanks for the sub. I know we're running late, but there's no need to be Chrono cross with me. Ban me, you won't. No, I won't. Not after you resubbing. You can't ban someone after resubbing. That's the worst time to ban someone. Static Burst, thanks for the sub. And the Pebis. Love coming home. Coming home. I'll stay home. I love walking from my computer desk to the living room after a long day of streaming. Cracking open an ice cold can of Pebis. Peebus? Probably Peebus. Alright, everyone in chat is in love with Nikki, but I don't remember where to get him. I'm gonna go talk to the NPCs over on the boat again and see what's going on. And then give me a hint how to recruit that guy. I think there's a way to get a tick. I pronounce it Peebus. 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 Not Peebus. 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 It's a good word. Refreshing beverage. Peebus, the taste that gets stuck in between your teeth. Peebus is the taste that'll put hair on your chest. I'll make your toenails grow. Didn't body, not a spirit. Pre-stuck, start rehearsing. Yeah, there's Yumi. Yeah. you thought about another wrestling character you want to do now that you're back into the school? Well, I haven't gone back in a couple months at this point, but everything's cleared for Saturday. My body's in pretty good condition. I don't have anything like in the way, so we'll see. In terms of character build, I don't know. I think that might be a little too theatric for my skill level, really. Although I don't know. I feel like I would need that. Like I'm obviously not a very proficient wrestler. I can take bumps, I can do some moves. I feel like I'd be able to do like a decent maybe 4 or 5 minute match. Are you a face or a heel? I don't know that those dynamics would apply so rigidly to whatever match I might end up doing. I would have to get carried through my first match. Which I can make myself a heel. I can play to the audience and make myself a heel, which might be easiest. I feel like the easiest thing for me to do, and I've thought about this, would be really fun, is to come out and be like, I'm a YouTube superstar. I don't need this shit. I've already beaten the world of the internet, and now I'm going to beat the world of amateur wrestling or something like that. Something that's like so stupidly over the top, but come out with like a total attitude about being an internet celebrity, even though I'm like C-tier celebrity. But, you know, being a smarmy douche, would, you know, ideally make the audience hate me, and then a much more proficient wrestler can put me in the dirt. And then I like skulk away. I'll get you, like something like that. That would be. I feel like something like that would be fun to do for a match, maybe 2 matches. I don't know if that's like a lifelong character to dedicate to. I feel like thinking about characters, putting the cart in front of the horse a little bit. What I think would probably happen is that if I got to a skill level where anyone would want to do a match with me, then I would talk with them about the dynamic that they want and lean into that as much as I could. I don't think I have any kind of clout to be calling shots about my persona or anything like that yet. So, yeah, my goals right now are to just go to classes enough to learn the world. I think I have. So it's weird to think about because in the classes I've gone to, my like promos, my talking to wrestlers in the ring, like that's if I'm looking at it rather objectively, like I'm kind of above beginner level at that because I've done that a lot. I've done a lot of performance. I'm not that nervous about it. I know how to be loud. I know how to project. I know how to like deliver lines in like a way. Like people who are new at it are pretty nervous and they tend to talk too fast and not loud enough. And like there's a whole thing to that. So also just like selling hits. I can scream. I can pretend like I've been hurt. Like that stuff comes pretty naturally to me. So when I think about it like that, I could like take heat. Well, faces take heat, but I can come out, I can practice a spot, and then I can get the shit kicked out of me for like 4 minutes and then I can lose. I feel like that's the closest thing I'm at to putting on a fun match. But for that, I would need a partner who is okay with that. Like we'll run the one spot you could do, the international run. We'll do 2 internationals, and then I will hip toss you 8 times, or like I'll do these series of moves to you. Maybe you get to do like a one like shine back, but hold on, Moezi's idea. You need to make an actual VIP or ban wheel that's weighted for ban, and that is your special move. You pull it out, spin it, it lands on ban, and then you ban hammer them. The ban hammer is a pretty fun signature move, I suppose. Did you study Steiner math? The screaming you did in the Matrix was pretty great. Oh, thank you. That stuff was probably the most fun I had at Funhouse. Was doing the bits that were attached to gameplays, because that was like the most ridiculous performative stuff and the most like energy of just getting in with a group and just kind of jamming on ideas, and anything like ideas that took off in the group, people would punch them up and then you'd shoot it immediately and then you'd take it into edit and turn it into something. The problem with leaning too hard into Twitch stuff is that I'm not sure that like everyone in an audience would get references to like bans or mod checks or things like that. That might be a little too far in the weeds. But it's a good idea. I didn't know. So somebody said that Chris Jericho was doing the smarmy influencer thing now. That's pretty great. Oh, here we go. Wait, did I never come up here? I don't think I came all the way up here ever. Which is why I didn't know where I was supposed to go. I'm just too cool to hang with anyone else. Man, well said. So yeah, I mean, I could probably do a match. Like, you can do a match that doesn't really have that many bumps. I could take a bump or two. I could get hip tossed until the cows come home. That's easy. I can get power bombed if somebody wants to power bomb me. But I think I can sell the theatrics of getting hurt pretty well. I think the stunt training helped out with that too. So yeah, if I'm pretty realistic about it, I think my best shot to putting on a fun match is to just get like do a move or two and get the shit kicked out of me. I think I could do that. I'm not going to ask you to rank this specifically. If you had to grade every RPG you've played on a 1 to 5 scale, where would you place this on a decimal scale, and what's your favorite element of this game? Jeez. I'd have to play it again to accurately do that. My memory of it is pretty high, though. I would say my memory of it's a good 4 out of 5. That said, that's a pretty personal scale because this game is not for everybody, and I understand it's like it has some weird aspects. The battle system's not very well thought out. The story elements are pretty esoteric and some poorly told potentially, depending on how you rank those things. Oh, the thing that I love most about this game, the music, soundtrack, easy. Helvrek, thanks for the resub. Already relegating yourself to jobber. I got a job to begin with, right? I got a job. I got a ham and egg a few matches. Luckily, the gym that I go to is just filled with really good people, so they don't have any interest, I think, in just like finding people to make themselves look good. I love how the music does fade down to kind of cue you to pay more attention to what's being written. Really interesting. Oh, kid's back. What is the most deathmatch garbage wrestling thing you would be down to do? I don't know. I always wanted to get hit with a trash can, or like a. I want to get bombed through a table. That would be cool. I kind of got to do that in the Let's Play Live tour. James suplexed me through a breakable table, which was fucking awesome. I got hit with I also got hit with like a stunt cinder block, which was really cool. There's the trumpet. That's, it's a real celebration. As long as it's not a Japanese table, you should be fine. For whatever reason, those never break. As long as you don't start taking weed whackers to your nips. No, I have no interest in getting thrown on thumbtacks or like cutting myself so I bleed or anything like that. With Americans and destroying tables. I know it fits with your wrestling thing, but man, all the videos online of drunk dudes in American flag shorts wrecking tables is astonishing. You're right, it is a weird thing, isn't it? What's that all about? I don't know. You ever go through a table? It's awesome. Yeah. I guess maybe that's a don't knock it till you tried it kind of thing. But wait a minute. I have to use that on the map? Do I have to... Wait a minute. There's got to be a way to... There's got to be a way to pull elements off of people who aren't in the party, right? I'm going to click off for a second. The music's going to cut out. All right. Looks like it's time. Bruce is on the call, which means I'm going to go save, and the stream is going to come to an end because it is news time. Oops. Oh yeah, that's the fun thing. It's borderless windowed, and you can drag it around. It doesn't actually lock to the screen. And God help you if you do, because the taskbar will stay on top. So, that's cool. It does kind of snap if you put it back to the middle, but... Yep, that's one little fun part of the Radical Dreamers Chrono Cross port. You're not coming back? No. I gotta shut the stream down. I thought about it. I thought about just leaving things going, but... The good news is, tomorrow is a full stream day. I can start early and go late. And it's also Force Friday, so I'll finally finish Star Wars Obi-Wan. And then I have a sponsored gameplay tomorrow for Road 96, which looked really cool. I looked into it. Looked like something I would play anyway, so I was like, sure. And then with the rest of the time, I'm going to play Ace Combat 3, because I ran out of time to play that this week. And hopefully get in a little Beat Mania at the end. So that's the idea. That's the idea for tomorrow's stream. Hopefully you guys tune in for that if you're available. If not, that's fine too. But I had a really good time streaming today. Hope you guys had a good stream experience too. I know I got into some weird topics. But I tend to do that, so that's just normal. Oh, tomorrow's your Monday? Oh, it's the worst feeling. I'm sorry. That sucks. Well, there will be another Friday in your future. Oh yeah, and happy Easter weekend for those who observed, to everybody. Yeah, I think we kicked our familial obligations down the road a week. But that reminds me, I gotta get Steph some flowers. She wanted an Easter basket with presents and stuff in it. I was like, I guess there might still be time for that. Anyway, thanks for watching. But it's time for video game news. Time for journalism. Hard-hitting, brave journalism. So hopefully I'll catch you next time. And if not, have a great rest of your week. Happy Easter again. And stay gaming, everybody. Bye-bye.
You can smile.